What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you, but you know what we got to do first. We got to talk about the things that generate a little revenue for the show. First and foremost, we are brought to you by the Patreon. That's right. Patreon.com/MattSlayer. Home of all the uncensored video versions. The whole back catalog of the video versions. There is also ad-free audio. Very, very soon, the whole catalog is going to start getting dynamically inserted ads. So you can avoid all those ads at patreon.com/MattSlayer. We are also brought to you by my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/MattFandSlayer. Doing a lot more Twitch streaming. Been playing the hell out of multiverses. And if you're listening to this on Thursday on release day, Thursday's community game night, come join the Discord. Come play some games with us. I promise we don't bite hard. Just a little nibble. Just take a small chunk out. It's okay. Last but not least, the easiest way to support this show, the absolutely easiest way, is twofold. One, share social media posts. Tell people about the show. Just spread the word. It's really that painless. Cost you nothing. The other way is go to youtube.com/andnowwedrink and subscribe. Feed the algorithm. That's all we want. Just to feed the algorithm so more people see the show. And we just keep building and building and building and building and building. It's really that easy. And I appreciate the hell out of all of you for doing it. Let's get on with the show. My guest this week is adult performer Brenna McKenna. Brenna literally hopped a flight from Vegas just to come do the show. Brenna's fairly recent in her transition into being a performer. She started off working in strip clubs in Philly and then has made the transition into adult entertainment. And I can definitely see why Brenna was a successful stripper. She is very charming, a lot of fun to talk to. Just a huge personality. The 2 hours flew by. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did recording it. So sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy Drinking Buddies. What the fuck's going on? Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. You fucking flew in for this. I feel like I should have rolled out a better red carpet for you.
Well, Ari kind of made you bring me on, didn't he?
He can't make me do shit. You think he's the boss of me or something?
He texted and said, Brenna is your next guest. So thanks for accepting me.
It was a request. It wasn't like you had to do this.
Okay, well, I'm really, really happy about it.
Oh, yeah, we're drinking.
Are we doing this now?
Yeah, we're doing the thing.
Okay, so can I have a selfie with our drinks in hand before we start? Just in case I'm drunk and forget after.
I mean, we have started, though.
Right. No, I mean now.
Like right now?
Like before, yes.
Before?
Before the end.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If you want photographic proof that this thing is happening.
Yes. No, definitely.
Like, I gotta have this on the fucking gram.
Yeah.
It's important. I'm documenting it.
And to send it to everyone who is ever going to talk shit, I'm just going to say, well, have you been on a podcast? Were you with Matt Slayer? Were you drinking in Hollywood? I don't think so.
In the middle of the fucking day on a Thursday.
So.
Sun's still out. We're drinking. We're drinking hard liquor.
This is what gangsters do. Good enough for me.
Hell yeah. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. Give me a solid, though. Move the phone away from the cord.
How about that?
Well, don't break your phone. Shit.
It's already broken. I told you. I break technology.
Yeah. She walked into my apartment and it's like, oh, I break technology. I'm, okay, great. And then all of a sudden, her mic just, for whatever reason, has signal on it. I'm like, the fuck? I mean, it's just probably she's conducting electricity towards the mic or some shit.
It's like my IUD, setting things off, metal in my body, just choom, choom, choom.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That'd be horrible if IUDs set off fucking microphones and shit.
Or in the airport. That'd be so embarrassing.
Just TSA's like, come with us. Oh, you have that birth control. That could be really problematic in some states these days.
Listen, I'd rather than have an abortion or get pregnant. So there's that.
Yeah. Pregnancy, the STD that never goes away.
No. Let's not get burned.
Right?
So, yeah. I've never been pregnant or have gone through any of that, by the way. So, just proud to say so.
Lucky you. Yes. I've never knocked anyone up as far as I know.
Congratulations.
I'm very proud of it. Honestly, making it, I'm 41 now. Like, I had to think about how old I am. Like, no pregnancy scares that I know of.
Cheers to that.
Clink.
Yay. Well, that's a strong one.
Hey, you poured it yourself. Mm-hmm. That's on you. Like, Matt.
Bartender?
Matt, my drink's too strong. You fucking poured it yourself.
I'm not a bartender.
I'm a performer and a dancer. Like, I don't fucking make the drinks.
Yeah, no, I just get them for free.
Right, you get them for free and get dudes to buy them for you.
Duh, including you. Thank you.
You're welcome. But unlike most dudes that are buying drinks for you, this is a tax write-off for me, so.
It's amazing.
It works out like, I get to buy you drinks and write it off on my taxes. Win-win.
Well, in the strip club, too, that's like totally a thing. Guys pull out their business card. They put the champagne room on that. And they're just like, company, funds. Here you go. And I'm like, okay, so where's the bottle? Because I get commission on that.
Right. I love some of the strip clubs around the country that like, instead of being a strip club name on the credit card receipt, they're like fucking steakhouses and shit like that.
Exactly. Yes. I worked at one and it had like D&D restaurant like right on the thing. It's very smart because women will come in like checking out stuff. They do.
How do you feel about the women clientele that roll into the club?
I love the women clientele that comes in the club. Like generally, they're really, really dope. They either want to party with you, they're gassing us girls up, like telling us how cute we are or whatever. It does get weird. It gets very weird. Like literally a few weeks ago, a woman came to the front door and she pretended that she had a friend in the club who was drunk and she had to get her. In reality, she was tracking her husband's phone off her phone. And security was really slacking that day and let her get through like multiple like doors through to the lap dance room where I was sitting on her husband. Thank God I just got off to collect all my money off the grounds and she was starting to whoop his ass. I was so scared. So it does get a little weird.
In what circumstances is security letting someone into the fucking VIP section? Like, yeah. Like, once you're backed up for a dance, your friend's drunk, we need to check up on him? Okay, I'll go back there and see what's up.
Right. No, exactly. Like, she should have been escorted in by the security like, somehow she ran all the way through the club, like, to the back. I don't work there anymore for that reason.
Good reason.
That was strike 2, and after strike 3, I was like, nah.
There's a third strike after that?
Oh, yeah, not with a girl, more like with management, but yeah, like as far as female interactions go, that was probably the worst. But usually they're really, really good. Like, a lot of the girls are just like friends with the guys and they're trying to wingman for their bros. I'll pay for a lap dance, give him a dance, he likes you, Every once in a while you get the jealous girlfriend, and other times you get the married couple that is trying to bring you home, and that's always hot.
Anyone ever succeed in that mission?
Yeah, I've been a unicorn.
Nice.
Especially like when I first started, like putting myself through school. That was so fun. And it was probably the most experimentation that I did as far as like, sex goes. Like being a unicorn. That's pretty insane.
So give me the setup. Like how'd they approach you? How'd this go down?
Yeah.
Like the first time. We'll go with the first time. Your first unicorn experience.
Okay. So my very, very first one was with a man who I met in there, and he was dating a girl who worked at the club, and they were together. They weren't married, but they were together. And she was super hot. I think they were probably around 40 at that time. And
shout out to the old folk.
Yeah, and I feel like it really does take that kind of stuff to or at least being open-minded to make a relationship successful. So anyway, yeah, she was hot. We would flirt all the time. She get me some free drinks at the bar. She was the bartender, and then her man would come in and just chill there. And he would flirt, and I didn't get it at first, and I was like, but she didn't get jealous, and that's very atypical of women to not be jealous like that. And so then he asked me and kind of made the first move. So they just invited me for drinks, and it was comfortable from very, very much like this setup right here. They invited me for some drinks, and she was a bartender, so she made an amazing drink. It was like a Malibu Bay Breeze or something.
Oh, nice.
And I totally wasn't even 21, so it was sick. And I was just like, wow, this is great. Like,
oh yeah, we're bringing home a college girl.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I hate to break it to you. My girlfriend's actually hiding behind the curtain, and that's the part 2 of the show. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
As long as she's blonde with big titties, I probably will fall for it.
Same. If there was a woman like that behind the curtain, same. Is that your type?
No, but just, she was so milfy and hot. Like, what I know now is, MILF. I didn't really put women in a category like that back then. But yeah, that was sick. And we did that little hot tub action. First time I wasn't getting fucked. I was just there, little play toy, kind of, touching myself to it, opening my legs, teasing, maybe playing with her, sucking on her titties a little bit. But I did not touch the man for a minute. And I think that was probably what they had agreed on, looking back, based on my own experiences, that's probably what they were comfortable with. And then it went from there.
And that's awesome, because if they had that communication and they stuck to the fucking rules, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Anything should be able to go between a couple as long as you guys communicate openly. That's all that fucking matters.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's all with consenting adults.
Yeah.
Weirdos don't get that shit in your mind where it's oh, it's okay with both. No. Consenting adults. All between consenting adults.
No, yeah, better be upfront than not. It's just the easiest way to get, if you're not, it'll easiest way to get embarrassed or left, or you'll never get play again. Never.
Or have your girlfriend show up at the club and try to beat your ass in front.
Yeah. Dude, that was so insane. I was so mad that night. I got ripped of so much money because she got kicked out. Husband, ran out the back door. I didn't even get paid for the rest of what I was owed.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty rude.
That's such bullshit. I would have been going up to security and be like, yo, you owe me for a fucking dance, motherfucker.
Oh, it was more than that. Yeah. So, I guess it was security's fault. What was worse was management asked me for my house fee after that. All of you guys just fucked up my night because he was paying a lot of money. He was making it rain on the stages, bringing me for lap dances. And then he was just waiting for his boy to get out the room. And then we were going to go to the VIP room. It was money on the table, and they fucked it up for me. And then asked me to pay them their rent, which is $15. Are you serious? Are you serious?
That's fucked. And I feel like that is just typical of fucking clubs around the entire fucking country. That's just shit like that goes down. Isn't
it weird too? Because it's I'm a sex worker and you're not going to prioritize me in a place of sex work. I'm not saying that I'm entitled, but also you kind of need me here. Wouldn't you want to take care of me?
Right. Dudes aren't going to pay a crazy cover charge and pay for overpriced drinks if you're not there.
Yeah, especially me. I make a lot of money and I brought a lot of money in that club.
Well, shit. Maybe you should have been buying the drinks tonight. Fuck.
Next time.
All right.
Next time. Round 2, I'll bring a nice bottle.
We're 11 minutes in. She's already committed to it next time. Let's see if I fuck this up.
If you'll have me.
Time will tell. See by the end of this, if you're I'll cut you, motherfucker.
Well, I am Puerto Rican. Where's my knife?
Hey, you made that stereotypical joke. I did not.
Oh, maybe these are some of the things I shouldn't be saying.
Too late. They are recorded. It's okay. A good friend of mine who I used to travel with is Puerto Rican, and we were in fucking Amsterdam, and then we're hopping a flight to fucking Germany from Amsterdam, and we get to the train station, and he realizes he has his fucking knife on him.
Yeah.
It's oh, fuck. We end up stashing his knife at a train station in Amsterdam, flew to Germany for 2 days, came back, and his knife was still fucking where he stashed it.
Found it?
Yeah, where he stashed it.
That's insane. So was it an expensive?
Oh, yeah, it was an expensive knife.
Sentimental knife? And
I think all his knives are sentimental, but...
Facts. So true. Such a good point. What am I thinking?
Right? It's part of your heritage, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's actually crazy. I went to London in 2013, and I had a stone handle knife that a friend gave me, and I had it just like, it would lay like in my Michael Kors wallet, like at the bottom, and I would keep it there because I live in Philly, so kind of would always keep a knife on me. Now it's like pepper spray and like, a taser. But yeah, I got through security with it. Once I was through security, I realized like after, I was like, how the fuck? And I tossed it into a trash can before like I had to do anything else because I was traveling all through like Europe. That shit was insane. I don't think they really, I don't know, but 2013, did they even care at that time?
Oh, they cared. Everything post 9/11. After planes got hijacked with box cutters, they really gave a fuck.
Yeah, so that was insane. Like a stone handle knife, like.
But the thing about it is,
it's because I'm white passing. That's why they didn't.
Well, it's white passing. It's also the amount of fucking things that get through TSA is mind-boggling.
Yeah,
they're not very good at their job. It's all security theater. Like it's really to deter people from doing something crazy because they're like, oh, security's there. I can't do that. I'll get caught. I'll go to fucking jail over it.
Right. Like they say the dogs are just bomb dogs.
Yeah, you can't have bomb and drug dogs. They have to do one or the other.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because if the dog reacts, well, what's it reacting to? You need very different people to show up for a bomber versus drugs.
Good point.
So it's a very different thing. You get one or the other.
So I'm smuggling drugs through the airport, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Say less. It'll save me a lot of money when I come to LA and Las Vegas.
Well, if you're bringing marijuana out of LA, they legally can't even stop you up to a certain amount.
Okay.
Like LAX is specifically like, oh, we can't, because of California's weed laws. Like, I forgot what the weight is, but at a certain point, they don't even fucking care.
Good to know. So I was at a club the other day in Vegas, and I was with my homegirl, and, they check bags and stuff. They don't let things in like vapes, like weird stuff that is not harmful at all. But they made her take out her USB vibrator, and they wouldn't let her in the club with it. And I mean, we do porn. She just had like her content like in her bag. And the woman that was like going through the bag, like took it out. And so she's touching it with her bare hands. And then
that's safe.
Yeah. And then she's like, what's that? And my homegirl, she's like, well, that's a vibrator. And the security guard is like she can't believe she's touching it, and she's like disgusted, and she like gives it to the guy. Then she like literally goes and leaves her post to go wash her hands.
I mean, I would too. You don't know.
Okay, fair enough. She was super like judgy on her face. So we were going to leave and put it back in her car because her content's on it. But we actually did. We were in the Cosmo. I think we were in the Cosmo. And we stuck it behind, like one of those big like dresser chests, like on the side of like a hotel, like where lamps or whatever. And we put it behind there when we left the club. We retrieved it, because it was very important to her. She's like, this is the only vibrator that like I can carry around with me. And it's my concept. I'm like, well, you need porn and your vibrator. So
that's where that they stopped you for a fucking vibrator.
Like, what are you going to do with it? Like, it's
Vegas. You never fucking know.
I mean,
not violence, but you may, put on a show that isn't appropriate for all guests.
It could only add to the experience, honestly. Like, take something away, like a knife, take my hard drugs away, but I mean, a vibrator, I don't get it.
Unless you start, deciding to Hitachi yourself at a fucking slot machine where there's children walking by.
I mean, in a nightclub, that's pretty hot, don't you think? Okay, so if a girl came up to you with a vibrator, like you wouldn't enjoy that experience? No kids in it, of course, in the club.
Okay, so it's in the club. It wasn't just the Cosmo. Okay.
No. It was like the line. Like we got there and they were like, looking through her stuff before we went into Marquee, and they didn't allow her. And I was like, damn. So. Well,
you got to remember, like, security is notoriously underpaid, and sometimes they're just on a fucking power trip.
Facts. That is true.
Sometimes they're just like, they're just doing shit just to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Back to your question about, if a girl just rolled up and, decided to break out her vibe in front of me. Depends on the girl.
So what's your type?
Oh, shit.
Do you have a type, or?
I very much go often with all over the place, but like if you were just like, oh, hey, let's look at Matt's porn category. Like I like European girls with big tits. Mm-hmm. I like redheads.
Okay.
What I end up, people I end up hooking up with, like my most successful relationship was like a brunette Italian girl. So.
Okay. Is it more like, do you have a personality type that you like?
Oh, yeah.
More than a physical type?
the physical type's got to be there. Like, it's not just like, oh, you're awesome. Oh, you look like Shrek. I'm in. No, there still has to be a physical attraction.
Uh-huh.
But obviously a personality type. Like, I can't just deal with someone who's like, oh, hey, let's go do this thing. I'm very much into like someone who's going to have their own fucking life. Like, I want someone who's going to be adding on to mine, not just being like, well, I'm part of your life now. I'm your fucking tumor. No, have your own shit. Have your own friends. Have your own things. We will come together. We will do shit. We'll do have fun together.
Have your own room. Have your own house.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
We can have sleepovers. That's cool, but you need to have your own fucking life. You can't just like glom onto mine. And I'm not going to glom onto yours. And don't be upset if like you don't hear from me for a couple days because I got other shit going on.
Yeah. Like, how many of these do you film a week?
Depends on the week. Some weeks it's like 3, 4. Some weeks is like, this is the first one I've done like in a week and a half because I've just been working on other shit, working on client shit, fucking I haven't booked anybody, and here we are.
Wow.
But I'm sure the audience is much more curious about your type.
I think I have multiple types. I've dated like around, and there's definitely a few types that I like. Personality is a little bit different, I think, like from my type. I can go for a lot of different people, but like personality wise, I feel like I've always needed someone who is like a little more laid back than me because I'm just too much. I prefer like, an introvert because I'm so extrovert. Like, I prefer someone to balance me out, and that's just like a specific type of person. But as far as the looks, I like a lot of different guys. I've dated a Thai boy. He was super hot, and tall, And I love tatted guys, but also clean cut guys are really hot. Like, I love them. But I like girls too. So I have a lot of different types.
What's your type in girls?
All of my girlfriends have been mixed, not white, Hispanic or Black, athletic, like really, really pretty, like long hair, like it's like boys would love them and it's a shame that they would be like completely lesbian, like that kind of like girl, kind of like on the butch side, I guess. And like, that's like the one type I dated when I dated girls like the most. And now that like I get to play with a whole bunch of girls, now I'm loving more of like the feminine girls. Like when I came out in high school and stuff, I dated the first type I described. And now that I get to play like and have a lot of fun, I'm appreciating more like feminine girls, especially in the industry. Like now I love blondes. Like I said, like it comes back to blondes. I love natural blondes. Like, oh my God, like think Kenna James, like Charlotte Stokely, like these girls. Like I love girls that look like that now because I get to like perform. But I don't know. Now that you say that, I'm all over the place because I love tatted girls too. And I used to love all natural girls, but now I can appreciate like done up girls. Like I had a scene with Katana Montana. She is stacked and she is like sick tattoos, like blonde hair, and she's like everything.
You try to hit it off camera? Did you?
No, I don't know.
No.
I'd share with a guy off camera.
Not just try it, get it for yourself?
No.
I mean, you're allowed to.
No, I wouldn't.
Why not?
You know what? Okay, so I think this is like the awkward point of sexuality where it's like there are some things that would be emotionally, attached that would maybe, but since there's not, like I wouldn't, I don't know. There's got to be more something there. We had hot chemistry sharing a dick, but, I don't think we'd go lesbian for each other. Like, just me.
Just for a couple hours. I'm not talking forever.
Oh, no, I feel you. But no.
Yeah, I'm not saying you two get in an apartment and a dog together.
I don't know her that well. She strapped me really good. And that's what I enjoyed that, like, my early days when I was like, first learning what strap-ons were, like in high school and college. So yeah, I'm more submissive, I think. So I like a more dominant girl. I need to try things out. I need to try more of these girls out.
Right.
I think I need more experience now that I'm thinking about it.
I mean, isn't that the point of life to always just have more experience?
Yeah, a bigger, what is it called? Test sample?
Yeah, larger sample group.
Right. That's what I need. That's what I need.
I concur. I will back your scientific play here.
Yeah.
I think you need to go out and sample it all.
Yeah. Because honestly, now that I'm like answering and I'm listening to myself ramble, I'm like, I probably could fall for just about anyone or fuck them, no matter what. I just get off sometimes on just getting people to like me and get off.
Hey, if that's what gets you off and you know that, there's nothing wrong with that as long as the other party isn't fucking using you.
Right.
Because I feel like that's
You can't use me. I don't have shit to use. What, my body?
Yeah, you have holes. I mean...
I know, but that's whatever. Holes are holes.
I'm just saying.
Can't break my soul.
That's the important part. As long as you're comfortable with it and consenting, it's all good. But yeah, the last thing you want is just someone to approach you with false pretenses and then I would like to please them, and then turns out that they're a fucking piece of shit who's just like, oh, she's hot, I just want to bang her, like, and aren't up.
That's probably me. Like that probably would be me though. Like, but I feel like I'm hot. Like, please bang me and then please leave. Like,
yeah, but I feel like you'd be upfront about it. Like, that's fine if you're upfront about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Isn't that what you expect? Like, if me and you were at a bar, I would just expect that you would just want to bang me and leave, right? Even if you said that wasn't. I would just be like, that is.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Like, that should be fucking freely communicated. Like, yo, let's hook up. Like, that's a thing. That two consenting adults should have zero problems and shouldn't have to, in 2022, have to do this little bullshit dance of like, oh, yeah, I'll call you later. Like, no. If we were just hooking up for the night, we should just be like, yo, we're hooking up for the night. Have a good life. High five. Good game.
Right.
Instead, it's like, oh, Why was it left vague? Why did he say he was going to call and he didn't call? Or why did she say she was going to call and not call? Like, just fucking, if you're just like, yo, bang it out tonight. Cool. Like, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Not any bullshit of like you making assumptions. Because what if you're just assuming that dude just wanted to bang you and he's actually like, oh man, I had a really good time. I'd like to go again. And you just have already written him off because y'all hooked up. That's fucked.
Yeah, that is fucked a little bit. I could see that. I kind of feel bad for guys sometimes.
Why? Because we're stupid?
You get the short end of the stick, I feel like, a lot when it comes to that hookup situation. Like, girls usually do, like, run it. Like, they're in charge of what happens in a sense, right? And then you just are, if you do want to be with the girl, then you have to, like, buy the dinner and, like, kind of, like, court her just to get something, or maybe you think you want it, and then like when you reach that point, you spent the money for the time, and then you don't like, you still don't like her, or like she doesn't like you anyway. I feel like guys are like, you're not. But short end of the stick there. But
at the end of the day, it's money. You can earn more. The time is what's so fucking important. But also, when you spend that time, and it's like, oh shit, you got to take a step back and be like, okay, why was that not a good time? Like, obviously, I wouldn't have approached if I didn't think she was attractive in the first place. But if I didn't think if she's attractive and it didn't work out, what was the disconnect? Like, okay, she was hot, but why did she suck? Why in the future, if I see these red flags, I need to not pursue it. So I'm paying into my future, into being like, yo, that is a red flag. That is something I'm not into. I see that red flag. Take the fucking step back.
Word.
It's not just, oh, I'm going to just keep going out with the same type of chick over and over again. Keep spending this money and like, why does it not work out?
But isn't that what people do though?
You work in a club. You have to know that a good chunk of humanity is real dumb.
It's like literally what I see all the time. That's just why I just start feeling bad. I'm just like, damn, because you can't even change people. You can like point it out. I'm like, dude, you're in here every single day, like talking about this. Like, okay. The epitome, the man who comes in and falls for all the strippers. That's like a prime example right there.
It is. And unfortunately, I don't know. I don't understand. I can't get that mentality. Like, I just don't understand the mentality because it's one of those things like in my 20s, yeah, I definitely went to a strip club as a patron. Like, and I knew like none of these girls are into me. They're paying like, this is a transactional relationship, but I was paying for the fantasy that like, oh, this girl who's sitting on my lap wanted like come to the back room with me. Like, I'm paying for the fantasy at that point.
Yes.
Like, But I knew consciously, like, I'd get wrapped up in the moment. I'd have fun.
So you had both of your parents when you were growing up?
I did not.
Okay. See, because most people have mommy and daddy issues, and I feel like that's why they're in there, like, searching for something. No,
just most people can't look at things objectively. They're just like, oh, there's this whole culture of like, oh, we're dudes. We're expected to go to the strip club. Like, yeah, strippers. Yeah. Like, because it's a sign of, I'm fucking successful. I can spend this money. Like, And then it's like, oh, look at that hot chick. She's totally into me. Like, she's not into you. She's into your money.
Yeah, she's not. She's not into you. Guys, she's not into you. She's not.
The one time I've pulled a dancer in my whole fucking life, I was like, something's wrong here. Like, something, like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to fucking drop. Like, something's not right.
Look, every once in a while, there's that stripper with a heart of gold, okay? I'm in that category, I think. Pretty sure, but...
Oh, you're giving these motherfuckers hope.
But usually, no. You got to be a really special case, which, again, goes back to the double standard. Like, it's really not fair. Like, women have very high standards of men, Like, you need everything for me to look at you and date you. I don't need shit. I walked here sweaty in this dress, and most guys would just not even ask if I have a job, a car, nothing. I got it made. Like, we are not into you guys as much as, you think in the strip club.
It's true. But on the flip side, I don't have to carry fucking pepper spray and a knife with me for fear of my life.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
There's trade-offs.
Yeah. No, there's definitely, yes, there's trade-offs when it comes. Yeah. Yeah.
I have very little fear of going places at night by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, we read articles and we repost in Philly, like, watch out, girls. Like, on this block, this guy was seen punching girls on the street, like, shoving girls into cars.
That's so fucked.
Watch out, ladies.
And it's fucked that as a society you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But the reality is you do.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off.
Isn't it like in the animal kingdom, usually some, or at least in some species, the females are bigger and stronger?
In some species, often the males are larger. But it all depends on the species. Like fucking lions, male lions are bigger, but they sit on their ass all day and the females do all the hunting.
Right. So, yeah, it's kind of not fair. Like, we get underestimated like that too, If I was a shark, it'd be a whole different story, but I'm not.
This would be a really weird interview if you were a shark.
I know, but then guys wouldn't want to like punch me, or like I wouldn't have to be scared, like. No,
you just have to worry about fishermen and.
Okay. That's a good.
Plus, I'd also have to set up a tank in here. Like, I don't know how to mic up like underwater. Like,
oh wait, have you seen this? Have you seen The Boys?
Of course.
Okay, so this is bringing me back to like the squid. What's his name? The
deep. Spoilers. The deep fucks a couple octopuses.
Yeah. What's the octopus's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
It has a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you would have a tank like that with a bed. I'd be in there like.
I don't know where she thinks I'm getting these accommodations. Like, there is no bed for the audio audience because this is listened to via audio in addition to the video. There is no bed in this room. We're in chairs. There's a table. So I don't know why there would be a bed if you were like a sea creature. It's weird.
No, but like in that room though.
Oh, in the room in The Boys, yeah. 100%.
You can pretend you're the deep. That would be pretty sick.
I don't want to have gills.
Sick.
That character's really pathetic.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. There is that scene where a girl sexually assaults him.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Never mind. I feel like men and women may get sexually assaulted equally.
Oh,
women might just report it more.
Oh no, 100%. Like, women definitely get sexually assaulted more than men do, but men have a much lower rate of reporting.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, if you're a dude, the cops are probably going to laugh you out of the fucking.
What do you say?
Yeah. Like, this chick fucking had her way with me when I was, unconscious or whatever. They're probably going to laugh you out of the fucking station.
Yeah, but you guys have Johnny Depp now, and he did a lot for the community. He did a lot for The Boys. So, yeah. And I know that assault, it doesn't count like in prison either. Like, I know that like prisons, like that doesn't get reported, and that's mostly guys. So it's kind of sad.
Well, that's a whole nother ball of wax. That's prison life. We can't compare prison life to like the real world.
hey, a life is a life.
It is. But that's a whole nother set of circumstances.
My I hope that none of my sarcasm gets misconstrued in this, because I have a dark sense of humor sometimes, right?
Well, you're on the right show then. You're on the right show.
Sometimes it's fun just being devil's advocate also.
It is. I do it often.
I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've lost friends because of it, but it's just like, hey,
they weren't really your friends in the first place.
Let's just all get along. Does it matter does it matter at all?
I mean, there are some deal breakers out there where I'm like,
are there?
Oh yeah.
What are your deal breakers?
Most of my mentality in life is do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not harming other people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing things that are actively harming other people, I don't really want you in my life. But your words don't really harm other people, because at the end of the day, it is the offended party who is offended by your fucking words.
Like that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. They chose to be offended by it.
Like they're soft as fuck.
Whatever the reason, I'm not here to like psychologically analyze them. It's their call that like, oh my God, I was so offended by that. Like, no one forced you to listen to this podcast. If you don't like what I have to fucking say, walk the fuck away.
Right.
By allowing my words to upset you, you are giving me power over you. Only you have control over your fucking own feelings and how you react to things.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Like they're giving up the control. See, for me, like I've never cared like what people thought, even if it's different than mine. That's kind of the point of, being getting to know people. Like if you just want people to agree with you, you should just stay inside the house and like talk to yourself. Like, just, I don't know. Yeah.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. And how are you supposed to improve as a human if you can't hear of differing opinions and then objectively look at it and go, maybe they're fucking right.
Yeah. Or like at least consider, Yeah. So what are your deal breakers though? Like, would you be friends with like a murderer?
Depends on why they murdered someone.
It depends on why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Intent is very fucking important. I actually was having a conversation with a friend of mine about, it's silly. We were talking about fucking MMA fighters. And there's a fight coming up on Saturday between two people that we don't particularly care about either fighter.
Okay.
And one of the fighters is notoriously a fucking douchebag. And I heard anecdotally I met the husband of the surgeon who did some work on him, and he was a dick to his surgeon. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like that dude. He was a dick to someone who's trying to fucking help him. I don't want to deal with someone who's going to be a dick to their fucking surgeon. Like,
right.
They're fixing your broken jaw, dude. Like,
right.
And my buddy's like, well, he did the right thing. He backed up his boy, like, in this one situation. I'm like, did he back up his boy because it would be socially bad for him to not back up his boy? Or did he back up his boy because he's doing the right thing? Intent fucking matters.
Yeah.
That's why there's a difference between murder and manslaughter. Murder is, I intended to kill that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Murder one is, I premeditated. Like, I thought about it. I planned. I murdered that motherfucker. Yeah. Manslaughter is, oops, he died. So,
okay. You don't have kids, but if you did have a daughter and a man hurt her, okay, like in any, in a way, would you kill that man or beat that man up, or would you let the justice system take care of that for you?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm not going to be like all fucking fake bravado, like, I'll kill that motherfucker.
Like, of course, you don't really know. Like, you would have to be in the moment, like, to really see, what the fuck. But, I mean, like, if someone raped your daughter, would go after that motherfucker or no?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Because it's one of those things like, in an ideal world, I'd like to let the justice system, because, okay, I kill that guy. Mm-hmm. Cool. Assuming I get away with it, which... most murderers get caught because they have some fucking connection to the victim. So, oh, hey, that guy just raped that guy's daughter. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's dead now. Who are they going to look at first?
Right.
So I'm ruining my life. I'm now taking myself out of my daughter's life.
Exactly.
Over this shit. If he's in prison forever, and maybe I pay some people to tune him up in prison.
Right.
Seems like a better plan, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, like the smart way. Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, guy who's life without parole that happens to be on the same block with this guy. How would you like some more stuff in your commissary?
Here's some fucking shrimp ramen for you.
Right? I got all your shrimp ramen for life, dog.
Yeah.
Now, if the justice system failed, that's another story. I don't know. I don't know. And thankfully, I'm never going to have to make that choice.
So you don't want kids?
I got a vasectomy a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yep.
Should I congratulate you?
I think so.
Yeah, congratulations. Okay. Cool. So you don't want them?
Fuck no.
No matter the girl. Like, if you're finding a girl, she better be okay with it.
At this point, yeah, it's done.
Yeah. Well, it's reversible.
Sort of.
Do your balls hurt?
Not anymore.
Okay.
They did for a minute there.
I heard that could really fuck up your balls, like, for life.
No. Week and a half, 2 weeks later, I was fine. And I was very nervous the first load I popped afterwards because, you potentially could come blood.
What?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
No blood. Thankfully, no blood.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was very happy.
You can come inside, bitches.
Well, not that I wasn't before, but...
Without any worries, right?
Yeah. That's why I half jokingly well, I haven't had any abortions that I know about.
Right.
I've raw dogged some people in my day. But I'm technically still fertile for another month or two, potentially.
Oh, okay.
After 90 days after the procedure, you have to send in a sample, and then they have to be like, you're good.
Oh, so you could have some backed up sperm that could still come out because it was there before your procedure type thing.
This is why I'm just doing anal until I get cleared.
I'm not going to say that I do a lot of anal to stop pregnancy, but I really do feel a lot better about it when I do anal. I love taking cream pies in my ass. Thank you. Because you get the vibe of that biological thing where you want to steal a man's load and feel filled or whatever that thing is. But also it's in my fucking ass, okay? And these things are not swimming through my walls into my ovaries or, it's just, it stays there. It's not moving anywhere. I love that. When I realized, I think that it was safe to do that. I don't know, what age, you realize that, but I'm so happy that I do a lot of anal now and I don't have to worry about it. Even though I do have the IUD, I love taking it in the ass and knowing I'm not going to have any worries.
Are you cool with having cream pies with someone who can't get you pregnant?
Yeah, I'll take it anyway because I have the IUD, but it's just
but
you worry about it,
Yeah, but I'm saying someone who has a vasectomy. I'm not talking about me before any of you put that out there.
Wink, wink.
I'm just talking about vasectomies are becoming more common. Someone who's oh, hey, I have a vasectomy. It's good.
Yeah.
Would you be into that at that point?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's worry free at this point.
Yeah. It would make me feel better. I know this girl from high school. She has an IUD and she's had 2 kids while on it.
She needs to fire her fucking doctor.
Right. So I'm dude, you need to sue. Okay. On some real shit, your bills need to be taken care of. I don't stress that much, but yeah, if there was a guy with a vasectomy, I'd definitely. Actually, I think that one of the first cream pies I took in my pussy, the guy was fixed. Can I say that?
Yeah.
The dog fixed.
I referred to it as snipped the whole time. So
right, yeah. So actually, yeah, that did make me feel better. Although, now being a tested, porn star, I would probably ask for proof. Just
that's what I was about to ask.
Anyone can say they're tested, but I'm show me your fucking doctor's portal, bro.
See, I can do you one better. I filmed my vasectomy. It's on my YouTube channel.
How in depth is it?
I'm literally. It's just from the chest up of me, lying there while he's performing,
reaction style.
Yeah, I'm talking to the camera and
Did he almost not let you do that, or was it
correct? Yeah, I didn't warn him before I showed up. I showed up and I'm yo, do you mind if I film? He's no, you can't. I'm that's cool. I didn't warn you. Just to let you know, I've been doing vlogs about this. I'm a professional podcaster. I was written up in the Daily Beast last week about this. So I was just trying to follow up. He's oh, well, if you just want to shoot in your face. I'm yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've worked in adult entertainment for over a decade. I've managed to keep my dick off camera this long. I'm not starting now.
So you've never thought about doing porn or making at-home sex tapes or anything like that?
Nah, no interest.
Okay.
Well, it's one of those things where so when I got in, I've been in since fucking late 2010, early 2011.
Okay.
There was
got in what?
Adult entertainment porn.
Okay.
I started off roadieing and going on the road with girls, like to feature gigs and fucking conventions. I have a security background of all things.
You know, I was going to ask, we were talking about this, like, you definitely have like a bouncer's fucking build. Like, you seem like you should have been at my fucking at the front of the club.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that job. That's exactly why I know how it should have gone down.
It used to be the rule that girls can't even get in by themselves, but I guess since COVID, everyone just wants the fucking bread and like, let's groups of girls or single girls in by themselves, and they used to have to be accompanied by a man. But anyway, yeah.
Well, but I also think like that might actually be illegal to discriminate against sex for letting, from a legality standpoint, someone could turn around and be like,
I mean,
sex is a protected class. So if you're like, oh, this establishment discriminating against me because I'm a woman, they definitely could sue a club.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, they could. I don't know if anyone would ever bring that lawsuit to bear, but they could.
Yeah. But besides the point.
Besides the point, to let someone like through that was just giant security breach.
I was so mad, but yeah.
But when I got in, there was just studio work. It's not like people were. There was no OnlyFans. No one was really shooting their own content. The technology just wasn't there. Like,
right.
The cost of buying a fucking decent camera to like shoot.
Like it was like the flip phone, like fucking shit.
Yeah, you couldn't shoot porn.
That Ray J Kim K vibe.
Man, I hope Kim's gotten better in the sack. She looked like such a boring lay.
Dude.
But that's besides the point.
I'm holding that comment.
You're like, I don't want to be on record about this shit. But because it was just studio work, like I know what goes into being male talent.
Yeah.
And I don't want that fucking job. Like I like choosing who I fuck. I make poor choices regularly, but I choose. As male talent, especially for studio work, especially starting off, you're going to have to fuck whoever they tell you to fuck. Yeah. And if you don't perform, well, you're out the door.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like I was much more successful breaking into the industry, doing things in the industry by putting it out there from the start. Like, I have zero interest in being male talent. Because you as a performer, if a dude comes up to you like, oh, I want to do porn, you're discounting him immediately, right?
Yeah.
Where I came in and like, I want to make fucking porn. I want to make movies. I don't care about starting it. Like, porn for me was a compromise on mainstream film ambition. Like,
okay,
I love movies.
Like, you went to film school?
No, I should have, but I didn't.
Okay.
But if you look on the other side of the curtain when the show's over, like, there's a couple thousand movies in there.
Okay.
Like, I'm a movie nerd.
You're a movie buff. Okay. Yeah. Sick.
And I grew up in Chicago. I didn't know anyone who made movies. I met people that made porn.
Right.
And I went, oh shit. Well, maybe I can, make some shit this way.
Yeah.
Like, I've written a couple scenes for a couple production companies. And it was just one of those things where, like, I had ideas for, like, doing some sites when I first got in that just never came to fruition. I wanted to fucking make film. I wanted to make porn.
Yeah.
So I think it gave me a level of legitimacy when meeting new performers, meeting new people. They're like, oh, this dude's not just trying to get laid. Yeah,
exactly. That's always the question in our minds. Like, even, like, when new people, like, when guys, they want to collab, like trade for OnlyFans or ManyVids or whatever. It worries me if I haven't seen them on set. Like, can you even come? Or am I going to be sitting there fucking you for fun, trying to get you to come for 3 hours?
Right.
Like, I barely want to fluff on set when it takes too long, like, because that's their job to stay hard, just like it's my job to put lube in my ass or stay wet or whatever. Like, that always is, it's always a question of legitimacy, for like new people.
Even before like the OnlyFans revolution, the part of like content trades have been happening for the last like 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. Just for like ManyVids, for people's various like the clip stores and shit like that.
Yeah.
The amount of horror stories I've heard from performers like, yeah, dude filmed it and he just never got me my content, or like it wasn't really usable. We were just fucking like, no. And it's one of those things where like, because I spent so long being like, I'm not just here to get laid, I want to fucking make shit. By the time where like clip stores came around and OnlyFans came around and all that shit, it's just like, it's been a decade. I haven't done it yet. Why would I start now?
Yeah. And
I've had a couple performers be like, oh, it'd be fun to like, I want to bang you, but I just want to do it for my OnlyFans. I'm like, nah, I'm cool then.
Well, they'd have to pay you. Like, if they're just going to keep it anyway.
Oh, yeah, but they had it in their mind that like for the honor of having sex with them, I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Okay.
Well, why do you think I turned around and like, nah, I'm cool? And at the end of the day, I'm not going to go through the headaches of having my dick on fucking film to try to audit your OnlyFans to figure out what my fucking cut is.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, a decade plus in and be like, yeah, I'm going to just, fucking go ahead and bang on film for $500 or whatever, like still standard male town rate is.
But you have a sick porn name. Matt Slayer.
I do.
Yeah.
It's my shitty high school nickname.
Slayer?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I was a fucking nerdy metalhead who wore Slayer shirts every
Okay. I was like...
Literally, like, the first professional set I was on, they're like, what name do we put down? I'm like, Matt Slayer. Yeah. It was like, Matt Slayer. Because I was feeling remarkably uncreative.
Okay, I'm not into that music. I've heard of Slayer, but like...
I'd hope so. They were a pretty big band.
When? In the 80s? In the 90s? When?
Oh my God. Their fucking Final World Tour, like, a couple years ago, sold out the fucking Forum.
I'm impressed, I think. Nah.
Do you want me to Google how many seats that is? Do you need to know that badly?
No. Yeah, no. Kind of, yeah. But yeah, I was watching an interview actually, and it was like on underrated rappers. Like I'm super into like hip hop and rap, and the guy was talking about J. Cole and Kendrick. Like these guys don't really advertise. Like J. Cole's like super, whether you're into rap or not, is like,
I'm into fucking old hip hop.
Okay, love old hip hop. Love.
Like, I know 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan is fucking chef's kiss on that shit. Like, I will still listen to Cream whenever it comes on.
Of course. Yeah. But like, apparently, J. Cole, like they were talking about how he sold out like arenas, like not just like little venues, like arenas and arenas. And I kind of got like an idea of how many people that is. Like, that's like, millions of people like around the world, like sitting in a fucking chair, to sing some songs to like back to you. It's pretty insane.
So the Forum holds 17,000.
Where is that? Is that here?
Yeah, that's LA.
Okay.
Like, so for their Final World Tour, the last show was at the Forum, 17,000 people. It's not a small venue.
No.
Especially for a genre of music that is not exactly popular music and never really was popular music.
What kind of music is that considered to be?
Thrash metal.
Thrash metal. Like the brand Thrasher? Like, is that like where that comes from?
No. Thrasher is a skateboarding brand. It's, I guess it kind of overlaps a little bit.
Sorry, I'm coming here to become more cultured also.
I'm sorry that you came here for culture. Jesus, that's horrible. Your publicist did you wrong if you're coming here for culture. That's horrible. Welcome to Heavy Metal Knowledge with Matt Slayer.
Uh-huh.
Slayer is considered one of the big four of thrash metal.
Okay.
So with Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer.
Okay, I've heard of those.
And I mean, Metallica is one of the biggest bands in the world still. And with the whole Stranger Things thing, one of their fucking albums from the mid 80s, like, has gotten back on the charts.
A fucking comeback.
Yeah.
That's insane.
From fucking Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Slayer was a very big band, and like, it's crazy. Speaking of Slayer, like in pop culture, is like the Kardashians would wear Slayer shirts and shit like that, like as like streetwear, not even really being
right. Oh, that's like everybody else, like wearing like a Pink Floyd t-shirt and like name a Pink Floyd song.
See, I don't want to gatekeep like that. I ask people like what their favorite song is. I don't ask them to name one. Like I ran into this kid like wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. I'm like, oh, dude, you're into Maiden? Like, what's your favorite song? He's just like, oh, I've never actually heard the band. I just thought the shirt was sick. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man.
Do you think that's cool?
Well, at the end of the day, it still raises brand awareness about the band. And if you're open to hearing the music that you're fucking representing, that's cool. If you're just like, no, fuck that, I don't want to hear it, like, then why are you wearing the shirt? Like, I know it looks cool, but why are you wearing the fucking shirt if you're not even willing to listen to what it is?
Yeah. Because it looks cool. Yeah. Whatever. It's just a fashion statement. But yeah, that reminds me of like people who wear shirts like that, like Pink Floyd shirts and like Def Leppard shirts. And I look at them like, I would be shocked if you listen to that fucking music. But I can't talk too much because although my dad brought me to see Queen, but Adam Lambert was singing.
Oh, that doesn't count.
And then he brought me, I know, but I wear that shirt. And then he brought me to see John Mayer when he was singing with the other band. You see, and I wear these shirts and I can't even like name it off the top of my head. My dad brought me so I could like drop acid and like, party with him. But I wear
you're dropping acid with your dad?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My parents are fucking sick. My parents are sick. Like I was in the car the other day and I was like talking to my mom, you know, and I just got done a scene and I'm like telling her, and then homegirl who's driving me home is like, "Yeah, your mom seems cool." My parents are sick. They know everything about my life. Or if they don't, I could tell them everything about my life and it would be okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah.
Hey, look, not everyone in this industry has shit relationships with their parents.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's actually when I was filming with Kitana. It was a really sick scene. And the guy who was recording and like directing it, one of them, there was like an interview in the beginning of the scene and it had really sick questions like that. And one of them was, what are the misconceptions about porn that people have, you know? And I think I definitely said it's not everyone is, you know, coming from a broken home or like a terrible like past that they're like running from or like projecting on people, you know, like I'm like a normal fucking girl. Like I have my parents and I'm not like fucked up, and
you're just fucked up around technology. That's all.
Yeah. Just around technology. I don't know. I've always been more of an arts and crafts and like sports kind of girl. I've never been like a gamer or like anything like that or like a computer person or anything. But yeah, my parents they're so sick. So the crazy thing about that show in particular, I have to think of the other band that I saw with John Mayer. The people who hear me talk, they probably know. My dad was telling me a story about, you know, when he would go see these bands back in, it was Queen and almost had it. So he was like, see these bands and do like nitrous balloons and stuff. And he was like telling me the story. So we're walking into Wells Fargo, right? And then we see the show, and on the way out, there's a guy with like a stand of like balloons, and they're purple, and it's like the ones you inhale, right? And my dad, and we were like just talking about this. Like my dad was just telling me about how they used to like get high, you know, and go into the shows, and like you could buy the balloons all over the parking lot. So I did my first balloon with my dad, and he like, you know, I just did it, you know, and I was like leaning against the car. He was like, "No, keep going." And after I was like, "Yo, that's sick." Like, but my dad, like, he watches me, like he's completely sober, and like he just, you know, besides like a couple beers, like he didn't do it with me or anything like that. Yeah, I dropped acid that show. I brought one of my girlfriends. Like I was dating my girl, like, you know, in college, you know, like we went all together. It was sick. And
did your dad provide the acid, or did he just know?
Oh no, we took it. No, me and the girl. I was in college, so like
I mean, that would have been pretty dope if dad's like, "Oh yeah, here, just take one tab, relax."
Oh, for sure. I mean, but like I felt comfortable taking it, you know, because of like how my parents kind of raised me to, you know, just be smart, ask some questions like they told us about things. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I've had a lot of cool experiences with my parents like that. Yeah, they're wild. They were wild, you know.
What? Why they stopped being wild?
Because they had us. Like my dad always said that when he had my sister, my sister is older than me, kind of saved him a little bit because he was in the life, you know, he was in the life. He was going hard. Yeah.
Did Dad do any time, or?
I think like minor time. Yeah, minor time. You know, for like, I don't know. I really
like
don't
a possession charge, or
yeah, like things like that probably are like legal now. You know,
I mean, that's so fucked. It's just like, oh, this is on my fucking record forever because it happened in the 90s or some shit.
Yeah, he had like a really great lawyer, so I actually think that his record might be clean, except for maybe like a suspended license. I feel like he said he didn't have a driver's license for a few years, but I don't think he like had anything like devastating like that on his record. But his lawyer was my theology teacher in 11th grade or 10th grade or 11th grade. He like literally, I was in class and, you know, he calls out my real name, like in class calling roll. And then like he says my last name, which is not common. And he's like, "Is this your dad?" You know, after class. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." You know, and my dad said that this guy's nickname was the Weasel because this guy would get anyone like off of charges.
That's wild. Someone who's like teaching the word of the Lord is like, "Yeah, I do criminal defense."
Well, this dude was so sick. Okay, so I went to Catholic school for high school.
I was assuming with the theology class.
Right. I mean, I was in church for most of my life. I went to public school like for 1st through 8th. But like when it came to high school, I just so happened to get a scholarship to play softball. So I went to the Catholic school, which is like not new to me because I went to CCD, Sunday school. My mom's Hispanic. So like I was sent to church even when she didn't go. And, you know, like she was watching my brother and I was still fucking like sent with the old guy across the street, you know, like go to church. So yeah, this guy who was so sick, he would assign papers, but he would let us argue any side that we wanted as long as we could explain it, you know, back it up, and it wasn't like emotionally charged. Like as long as it like made sense, he would listen and he wouldn't grade you like depending on your stance, you know. And in that school, there was this other teacher who was like the health and theology teacher, and she used to be a nun. I had her for like 9th and 10th, I think. And yeah, I can't say the same about her. She fucking kicked me out once for like having an opinion when I was younger, you know, which is like so retarded because it's like I'm 14. My opinion's probably going to change. Like
hopefully your fucking opinion's going to change.
You know, like hopefully I would grow and like become like a little bit, you know, more like even keeled, and like you're like kicking me out of class. Like I haven't even like developed, you know, just hit puberty, and your like,
brain is still cooking.
Yeah, like, you know, like I just feel like I just became a human when I turned 27. So like looking back on that is kind of silly, but oops. Yesterday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yeah, but you know, like silly stuff like that. Yeah, that teacher was sick. So he was my dad's lawyer, and that's pretty hilarious.
That is the someone like, you don't think of someone as a criminal defense lawyer like, yeah, I'm gonna teach the word of the Lord.
Yeah, I think he was more of like a moderator of conversation, you know, which I love. That was one of the most freeing classes. You know, everything else was kind of constricting, you know. Like when I started dating girls, like I came out to my parents when I was like 13. Then I got into high school when I was 14, and it happened to be a Catholic high school. And then I started dating, you know, my first girlfriend. She was a junior. I was a freshman. We dated for almost 3 years, like until she went off to college.
Do you think it was the Catholic schoolgirl outfit that did it for you?
I think that did it for like a lot of people. But she wore khakis, okay, just to give you, and she was on the basketball team, so you know she was like on that end of the spectrum. But they made us like once we got suspended, you know, like 2 months into school for having sex in the girls' bathroom. We got caught by the nurse because, you know, both of our teachers called down like, our students are sick, like you might want to check on them. And then like me and her in the bathroom, like fucking skirt up, she's like fingering me or whatever. And we had to stay 2 tile spaces apart for the rest of like the time we were in high school.
At least they didn't expel you over
Good times. Yeah, we were suspended for a hot minute, but I did not get expelled. But yeah, my softball coach was pissed because I'm there on scholarship. Like this school is like $20,000 a year, and my dad's paying like the absolute minimum, like $100 a month or $100, you know, like something like really, really low. And yeah, he was mad. My coach was really mad, but yeah.
Did you ever think about, did you play softball in college as well, or? Okay,
I kind of got burnt out, you know, when I was like a junior-ish, because I've been playing ever since I was 4. T-ball was the thing, and my older sister played too, as she's 6 years older than me. So I like was always going to her like tournaments and like high school games and all the games and the city games. But ever since I was 4, I would play. And then when I got old enough, I played travel ball, you know. So I've been on like 3 teams ever since I was 10. I'd play like a city league, a travel league, and then, you know, like another, like a fall ball or something like that. I got burnt out by the time I was like a junior. I thought about it for sure. I looked at some like really, really good schools, but I couldn't bring myself to like commit and go, because I know like once you go, you have to play or else you lose your scholarship, and then like you know, just changes things. So I just figured by the time senior year came around, I was like, I'm just going to be a stripper. I was like, I'm just going to put myself through school. But I really loved softball, and I still do. Like when I was watching the women's, it's like a city, you know, the city league, like the world championships. I was watching that the other day in the bar and screaming at the TV. And I love college sports when it comes to like softball and baseball and basketball. Yeah. But I didn't. I just became a stripper. It's like, fuck it.
Hey, as long as you're happy, that's all that fucking matters.
Yeah, it was probably the best decision I ever made. I mean, look at me. I never used my degree. I just kept stripping.
Hey, most people don't use their fucking degrees.
True. But most people try to get like a normal job.
Yeah, and how many people are unhappy in that normal job?
Yeah, so many. Like, it kills me when people are like, I could never be a stripper, or I could never do porn, like, and sell my body. I'm like, bitch, you're selling your fucking soul. You hate your job. If you hate your job, you're fucking selling your time. And I would rather get paid $1,000 an hour to sell my time than 10.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's just the risk versus reward of doing porn. It's like, yeah, you can potentially make a bunch of fucking money. You also may not.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, same as stripping. Like, you might bank on everything. You might get lucky and make $1,000 your first day. But, you might never again.
But the flip side on those two is stripping's on much more of a local level. Like, if you decide tomorrow, like, I'm done stripping, the likelihood of you going into a normal job and someone realizing that you used to work at a club, pretty low. You being on the internet doing porn, there's a much higher likelihood of someone being like, yo, I know you.
Yeah.
And that it's not a protected class. Someone could 100% fire you from some fucking civilian job down the road because you did porn.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, do they have to have like a morality clause? Isn't that
No, it depends on the state. If it's an at-will employment state, no, they can just fucking can.
Oh, I think Pennsylvania is like that, actually.
Yeah, most states are.
Great. Good thing that my parents have houses that I could move into their basement if I need to.
Oh, shit. You got basement living? Yo, marry me?
Yeah, that's what the burbs in Jersey will do. Like, my parents, they have the same houses they grew up in. They live in the same houses, so they own them. Just slide right in if I need to. Right?
I got a safety blanket. Fuck this shit.
Like true millennial style shit right there.
Right? But I often have, over the years, I have had civilian female friends be like, yo, I think I want to do porn. And like, breaks. You need to think about this before you jump in.
No, for sure. Because once you go there, like, you have to have a backup plan, or a rich husband or something to take care of you.
100%. And that's one of those things, like, I've had a couple of performers like get upset with me, but like, yo, what's your post-performing plan? And they're just like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm like, yo.
What you mean? Fuck.
Unless you're moving behind the camera or starting your own production company, you got a limited time to be in front of the camera.
For sure.
There's one Lisa Ann. There's like one Nina Hartley. How many of their peers started around the same time who have been gone for decades?
That's a great point.
If your ego is so out of whack that you think you're going to be the next fucking performer who's in for a very long fucking time,
right?
Check yourself.
Right. Like, not everyone can be Angela White,
no.
Like, as much as we want to be. So, yeah, I think that's important. But that's the difference between, I think, like, having a business mindset or maybe like maturity generally, and just like.
Well, and that's part of the problem is there is no sex worker 101. There is no porno 101. You are thrown into the wolves. And if you happen to like land near people that are like willing to look out for you, you may do okay. But if you land around the wrong people, hook up with the wrong people.
Yeah.
You can get steered real wrong in this business real fast.
Isn't that a shame, though? I feel like that's what agents really should be. And they're not.
But that's,
well, a lot of them. I don't know a lot of agents, but I mean, I hear stories, and I feel like that's what agents should be, especially because the internet is so vast. Like, people are hitting us up. Like, when you start porn or you start an OnlyFans, you have an influx of people, and you don't know who's who. You don't know to call TTS and see who's banned or who's this and who's that. Like, but people are not doing their job in the industry who should be
and that's
doing that.
Part of the problem is because of the revolving door nature of this fucking industry, agents are incentivized to sell you as fast as they can, make their money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
You stick around, awesome. It makes more money for them.
Yeah.
But they're not particularly incentivized to keep you around, because at the point where you've gotten shot out by most of the major studios and you're not getting booked as often, what's your value to your agent?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fucked, because on paper, your agent is your employee, not the other way around.
Right. It's really screwed.
Yeah.
I want to go on a tangent, but I don't think I can do that either. But I have the experience on that for sure. It's a shame. As a woman, I feel like it would be a super dope business concept to have those online training classes for girls that are getting in the industry. I don't know how you would reach those women, but
I know I've heard of some performers that are doing some of those seminars. But the thing about it is, how do you trust that? How do you know that's not a scam?
Right. Like, what's their ulterior motive? What's their intention behind it? Are they going to funnel you to someone? Are you indebted to them now? Like, whatever it is, it's a shame.
Right. Like, I don't know any specifics. I'm not like being like, that one over there, that's a scam. That one's legit. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But if someone, like, just at face value, if someone is starting one of those, how do you know who to trust?
For sure. Yeah. Even like with the union, there's something, I forget what it's called in the industry, APAG or something like that.
So
but I heard
APAG, there's a union, and then there's APAC, which is a performer advocacy group.
Right. So I guess that would probably be the closest thing, but who knows the faces behind these companies and
well, at least with APAC, like, I know 3 of the board members of APAC.
Okay.
Like, they're all veteran performers.
Okay. See, so that is probably like the closest thing that we have, I would assume, because that's what I hear.
Well, so there is an actual union too. I don't know who's involved with the union at this point. And the problem with the union is because it's a revolving door and people aren't forced to be in a union. It's not like being in SAG-AFTRA. It's not like a production company. So for the audience who doesn't live in Hollywood,
myself included. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The way SAG-AFTRA works is if you're a SAG-AFTRA member, you cannot perform on a non-union set. Mm-hmm. If a production company wants to hire SAG members, they have to sign paperwork that says, we will adhere to all the SAG rules, including hiring union fucking performers.
Interesting.
But because there's not enough representation from the performers to force people to adhere to whatever union rules, it's not very well enforced. Because it's such a revolving door. Like, how long are you in now?
A year and a half.
Okay, you're a year and a half in. You've probably seen varying degrees of how sets work. Like, some of them are like barely 2 people with a
yeah.
And then some of them are like, holy fuck, is this a Hollywood set? Mm-hmm. Like, it wildly is different. Like, it's difficult for the productions because if you're a SAG production for a mainstream Hollywood production, it's costly. Like, the minimums for extras, the minimums for any sort of actor, like, is expensive.
So it's like any other union then, where, you know, they have their pay, they have their guidelines, they have like everything, and they run shit or you don't.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But because there's nothing forcing any of the adult productions to adhere to those rules, because at the end of the day, if like, oh, I'm a union member, you're going to have to abide by the union rules. They'll be like, and we're going to book someone else.
Right. Yeah. Like the hassle. Dude, that just triggered the hell out of me.
Sorry?
These sets that have like one person, like that. I had an.
I'm right here. Thanks.
Well, we're not fucking here, right?
Correct.
Okay. So this one set I showed up on, you know, just one guy, and it was amateur, and I'm independent, which is why I got a reference, which was kind of false. Okay. Apparently she had a different experience than me. Yeah, but he shows up, doesn't like shooting anal. We're shooting anal. And like, you know, things just got awkward, like when it wasn't like going great, you know, and it's like, I'm showing up. So anyway, yeah, these sets, like where there's just one guy, there really should be more resources for like independent girls or new girls, whether they're independent or they're sent by an agent to a set with just one person. There should be resources on how to navigate that kind of stuff.
Well,
what to make sure of, like when you're showing up, like red flags, like a little bit of training or something like that.
Well, and that's one of the things, like, if you are with an agency, your agency is supposed to look out for shit like that. Like, one of the things...
Supposed to.
True. One of the things that a lot of performers don't know, by California agency law, you fall under your agent's workers' comp insurance if you're injured on set, on an underinsured set. By California law. The amount of performers who have no clue about that, A lot.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that. So am I supposed to show up on set and say, are you guys insured? Or ask my agent if he doesn't volunteer that information? Like, are you insured? Are they insured?
Technically, if you are filming in Los Angeles County, by the letter of the law, you have to have a commercial permit from Film LA. You have to have proof of insurance. Porn still works very quasi-legally.
Uh-huh. So you never really know.
There's a reason that sometimes people get hit with fucking OSHA violations and shit like that because you don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you were injured on that one man's set, I'm sure he's not insured.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's like, oh, we're showing up at a hotel together to shoot the scene. If you were injured for whatever reason, a light fell on you or some shit.
You're teaching me right now, so
you're welcome.
Much appreciated. Yeah. Because I'm completely independent, so.
Well, and welcome to signing up for my course. You should have bought me a bottle. Like, now it's going to cost you money.
Okay. See, I thought when I showed up, I was getting paid, but that just must be the hooker in me. Just kidding.
You did. I bought Kettle One. I bought good vodka.
Is Kettle One good vodka?
Last I checked. Is it not?
I don't know. Usually when I go to a bar, I get offered Tito's.
Tito's is mid-shelf. It's good. It's really good for the price point, but it's mid-shelf vodka.
I'm a woman, so I don't worry about these things.
You should. You should worry about the kind of alcohol you are consuming. It's one of the joys in life.
I'm more of a weed smoker. I've actually been slowing down on drinking, especially like being in the strip club. I've been getting like, I mean, okay. It's been a while, and I'm starting to slow down on the drinking because it's very unhealthy. I feel like having 20 drinks every night with every person that you talk to, like in the strip club, like every guy, they're offering you a drink.
You're not doing the water trick?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. The water trick?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, tell the bartender, like, oh, I'll take a shot of vodka. It's just water.
Oh, I mean, I guess. Sometimes I do, but I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to drink with them, but I've been saying no lately. I don't want to lie. What do I want to fucking finesse people for? I don't know. Now that I don't.
That's part of the job.
Now that I don't. Yeah, but I don't like doing that. I really, really don't like doing that. I'm one of the most like upfront strippers ever. But I don't play. I'd rather turn down money than fucking play games sometimes. I really can't. It takes too much of my damn soul these days, like my peace of mind. Like I can't go home and fucking vent and cry for 2 hours. Like I'm just gonna work so that when I come home I'm at peace with myself. I don't got no drama. No one's got my number. No one's confused next time I see them what my intentions were. Like nothing. Like that's just how I've evolved over time. But yeah, now I've just been doing like a Red Bull vodka. I'll have like 2 instead of like 10. I literally used to have like 10 Red Bull vodkas a night.
Yeah, your heart's gonna explode.
No, yeah, literally. I ran into a doctor. Well, I have a doctor customer, and he said that. Wait. Did he listen to your heart just as an excuse to feel your tits? No.
He
wasn't even a fucking heart doctor. He's like a chiropractor.
Oh, he's not even a doctor then.
I know. No offense to the chiros. Dude, I went to a chiro and I'm pretty sure that it helped. But yeah, he was like, you're doing that? You're going to die by 26. I'm like, well, I'm past that, He's like, well, you're going to die by 36, and I'm like, okay.
He's already proven he's not a very good doctor.
So I when he said that, I kind of was like, yeah, he's probably right because like with a red, you're drunk so you don't feel it, but your heart rate is still like massive.
Well, it's stimulants and depressants at the same time. It's not good for you.
Yes. I mean, well, then why the fuck did you serve me a Red Bull vodka when
you asked?
I know, but you said, what's your poison? And I said it.
I literally said, what's your poison?
You should.
How would you like to poison yourself on my show?
So after he said that, and then just like looking back on my whole history, I was like, he's probably right. I'm probably already at like 70% capacity. And I need to switch to like some cranberry juice with a splash of club in it. So that's what I did. And I just lie to people and say, because it looks like a fucking vodka.
Wait a minute. I don't want to deceive people. And then you're like, oh, I'll deceive them a little.
No, I'll order it, but if I'm walking around and people don't know and they say, do you want a drink? Oh, I have one. Not a lie.
Okay.
I have a drink. I'm drinking, but I kind of like
lies of omission. Got it.
Yeah, like, like overt, acts, or they're a little bit different than, So anyway, yeah, I kind of chilled with that, because also I feel like, one, it is super unhealthy, but I feel better. Like, mentally, I'm a little bit clearer if I don't drink so much at work. But also, it makes it easier to work out. And I've been working out a little bit. And it makes it easier to, like, keep my muscle tone. Like, if I drink and I don't work out, I notice that I gain weight. Like, I look different and I break out. That's probably just what happens, like, as you get older. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm only 19, but I mean, still.
You better not be 19. That's vodka.
I mean, I'm 22.
We'll figure it out. We'll do the math at some point.
Am I going to be famous enough one day that I'm have a Wikipedia and people can just look it up anyway?
Hopefully.
So then what is it? I don't know. What is everyone so concerned with age about them?
I thought we weren't supposed to have this conversation.
We're not. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I'll have it.
Sorry, Ari.
I don't work for your publicist. As much as you tried to imply that I did earlier, that I'm his slave and I will just have whoever he tells me to have on.
You are an independent woman. Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I mean, if that's how you identify.
I don't, but I'll do it for the bit.
You'd probably get a lot more support in some way if you just went that way.
No, obviously. If I'm going to go away, I'd go as a bear. Like, the gay community would love me.
Tell me what that means again, because I'm pretty sure
like a big hairy dude.
Yeah, like a fucking dom.
I don't know if it's sexual dominance or not, but I believe it's just a big hairy dude. I don't know.
Is bear a gender, a sexuality, or like?
I don't know.
An archetype.
I believe it's an archetype. I'm a cis heterosexual male. I don't know. Like, I didn't dissect it that hard. It's just like, yeah, I'm a big hairy dude. Yeah, bear. Yeah.
Yeah. So in Philly, there's a gayborhood, just like here, I guess, like in San Fran or whatever. Like, there's gayborhoods everywhere, I guess. But Philly, I'm like most familiar with. And I remember the first time my dad and me went into the city. I was like 18. He's like, bringing me to school. We're like walking around just so I get to know everything, because I'm catching the SEPTA bus like around the city. So he like brings me around. So the first time we saw a sex shop, and it had like that leather in the window. It kind of looked like Amsterdam, like the sex stores like that, and you could see it. And there's like the hairy mannequins, like the big ones, and like people like that. Also in Philly, there was the first like gym, like it's a gym now, but I think in the past it was like the first like leather club, like for like like big guys that just like weren't trans, like they weren't like femme, they were just like dudes that look like you, but like leather, or like in the gym.
Full on leather daddying it?
Yeah, which is totally fucking sick, okay? Like, I fucking love that. Like, if I saw you in some leather, you might get approached by me. Like, I might really ask you, like, can you teach me something? But wait a minute,
I thought I was already educating you. Like, now you're like, now you have to wear a costume to teach me, Matt. What the fuck?
I'm a woman. I'm always unsatisfied, okay? But then
that sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
I've already rolled over and gone to sleep at this point.
And I'm sitting there like looking over like,
is he snoring? Is that motherfucker snoring? What the the fuck?
And then I remember we saw the first fucking like bathhouse, like a sauna, like a gay dude sauna, like it had no signs. A red door, a brick building, like totally like gayborhood, like old city Philly. I open it and I can see inside, and it's, like guys in there, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in there. And I close it, and my dad he showed me like all around that neighborhood. And he also took me to Woody's, which is like the most poppin' gay bar in the city for my 21st birthday. And then he educated me around just
that's wild that he took you to a gay bar. He's like, yeah, my little girl's not getting railed on her 21st.
Dude, he was okay. So like the dykes, the lesbians, like they're coming up, and they're talking to me, but they're like looking at my dad, because who would expect a father-daughter like duo to be in.
Father-daughter gay-bar trip.
They're probably thinking he's like my sugar daddy or something, or maybe he's fucking gay and I'm like bringing him out.
You're like you're hagging for him, like
yeah, like yeah, whatever. What does that mean? Wait, hold up, hagging?
Well, yeah, like
wingmanning.
The derogatory. I don't know if it's a derogatory. If fag hag is a derogatory term, I believe it is.
We're not politically correct today. I'm just letting you know right now, like we're not doing that today. I hate that shit.
No, so like the term fag hag, like chicks that are always hanging around with gay dudes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I
don't know if I just invented hagging in an attempt to not say fag hag.
We'll say hagging. We'll say hagging so you don't say the F word again. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're coming up and my dad's like buying everyone shots. It's like flirting with me, and like some gay dudes are flirting with him. He's like, no, I'm here for my daughter, but yeah, like that whole culture thing, like my dad made sure I was like very equipped for that as well, because even though I was only an hour away from Philly, a big culture shock. I was only 18. He just thought I was such a big girl, like doing all that stuff. And he like really like taught me everything. But yeah, so I just discovered what the term beard is, which is like fucking hilarious to me. So it's kind of like the word hagging, right? Like a beard, like a girl that is like falling for gay guys, or is like a girlfriend of like a gay dude, but not really.
I mean, she's just to make it look like, that he is heteronormative.
Right. Right. Like in Schitt's Creek when Alexis is like, I've been a beard. Okay, for many guys.
Well, and it's fucked up that like at one point in U.S. history, that was a very necessary fucking role.
Yeah. Like, okay, Anderson Cooper, hot as fuck. I would be a beard for Anderson Cooper. Hands down. Like, what a sexy salt and pepper daddy right there. I'd be a fucking beard for Anderson Cooper. I love old men. Like 40 and over. Okay, let's go back to that.
Okay.
Now that I have more clarity.
Now that I've had more alcohol, we'll be straight about it.
I would say that like now, even though I would fuck younger people, I would only legit consider being with a man who's 40 and over.
Why?
Maturity, maybe the fact that they would be so upfront. They don't got time to waste. Like, you've been through it.
Like you're gonna die soon. Might as well spit my shit out. You
don't mind hurting my feelings. Like maybe older guys, they even think that they're in control and they want to put you in some game. Like I don't mind that. Like I'd rather that than like be with a young, like emotionally try to be with a younger guy and like try to teach that, or get my way out of him, or like turn him into someone I want him to be. I would rather just meet a guy who's like himself, grown. I mean, what is the age for guys? Like 20? Is it also like 27 where we're like considered adults? Is it the same for men as it is for women?
I mean, our brain stops cooking at 25, so.
Right? So like I would prefer, at least like at 40, I feel like guys know what they want
for the most part.
They're a player, but you would know that, but usually it's like more cut and dry. And then you guys are hot, it's something really sexy about it. And if you had a kid, it like being a real daddy might make you hotter, even though you'd be a single dad. So that would make me like a stepmom, but still like it's pretty hot. Like older guys generally are like hotter to me now. Back then, even though I was a unicorn, I dated like more my age,
Whatever makes you happy. If at the time dating your age made you happy, if now dating older makes you happy, there's nothing wrong with it. It's human existence so fucking wild on that front, because it's just like, though there is an age gap between someone my age and your age at this point we're peers, but 10 years ago on both our fronts, I was a fucking adult and you were not.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, maybe now that you say that, it is something like feeling like a little bit younger, like a princess or something like that is like attractive, or like I'm getting taken care of. Even though I swear I'm pretty sure I don't have daddy issues, but like that's still hot. Maybe it's biological, right?
I don't know.
Validate me.
No. No, I'm not here to just validate your crackpot theories. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I mean,
aren't you?
Some things, not that.
So have you ever been a dom or like a bear, but like to a woman, or like has anyone ever like approached you that way and like you've role played that?
I've been with some submissive partners for sure. I've talked about it on here multiple times.
Okay.
My sexual tastes are fairly vanilla. I mean, I can get... Okay. I apparently explored this on a recent episode. It's like, oh, compared to normal civilians, I guess I'm a little kinky. Compared to people that are around me, I'm pretty vanilla.
Oh, okay. I love that fucking word civilian, by the way. Like, now that I'm in porn and I can say it, I'm not even gonna front. I feel fucking top tier saying that shit. Like, when I talk to my friends and, like, it's, like, commonly used, like, in porn. So, like, I say it now, like, around my friends. And I feel so, like, I'm better than the fucking army. I'm like, these fucking, like, you don't get it. Like, you civilian bitches don't get it. Or, like, when guys, like, message me and they're like, can we fuck? I'm like, I don't fuck civilian boys, okay? Like, psh, I'm tested pussy. Like, don't even fucking come near me. I love that term so much.
It's one of those things where, like, there are so many misconceptions about being in the industry, what goes on in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there is its own fucking culture. Like,
it's just like a whole way of thinking. It's a whole different way of thinking for sure.
Oh, it definitely is. Before I was involved in the industry, like, I will admit, like, I definitely had, like, some misogynistic tendencies. I had, like, you know, I definitely was not like, oh my God, pro fucking sex worker. All of us. It's just like, oh yeah, this is a stripper. Like, like,
oh really?
Yeah, I was a typical dude working in fucking security, so I was a product of my fucking environment.
Okay, for sure.
But you know, as an adult, I was exposed to other people and went, oh yeah, I was fucking wrong. And because I'm a goddamn adult, I can admit I was wrong in the past, and I of course fucking corrected.
Yeah.
It's not like I woke up one day, you know.
So what I would love to know, like maybe like what one of these changes were, like a switch in your mind that maybe you remember happening?
Well, it's just like on the monogamy front, we'll go there. Like the monogamy front or like being involved with a performer. Like the idea in my 20s of like my girl like fucking other people, even if it was on camera. Like, no, I can't. No, fuck that. No. It's my girl. Like, she can't fuck other dudes. No.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking all my time in the industry. And it wasn't like an overnight thing. I was dating a performer for a little while. And like, while I was still living in Chicago back in 2011, she was like a part-time performer, but it's still like, it took a little like getting used to like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like, she's still coming home to me. And then as I worked on more sets, it's like, this isn't even fun for some of these people. Like, this is work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what's the big difference? Like, am I getting upset if my girl go get some massage? Like,
probably more enjoyment out of that than being on set sometimes, to be honest. Yeah.
What's the big difference between some dude putting his hands all over my girl and bringing her pleasure? And that's legit pleasure because that's for funsies versus having performative sex for fucking the camera.
Right.
That is supposed to only be aesthetically pleasing, not necessarily pleasurable.
Right.
Nobody involved on set gives a fuck if you have an orgasm.
It's completely true. Completely fucking true. In fact, like, we're paying for that massage and we're just doing a job to get paid on set. No, that's a great fucking point.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, because of societal norms, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the thought process I started with. It took me being around performers, seeing how other performers' relationships worked.
Yeah.
Just being like, oh yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Communication and trust are what fucking matter.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Because at the end of the day, you're kidding yourself if you think your partner is the first person that, you know, the first time you fuck is the first time they fucked. Obviously not. They have fucked other people. They're probably going to fuck other people after you. What's the big fucking deal?
Mm-hmm. That jealousy, like the insecurity and stuff like that were raised somehow, like ingrained in us, like that has been one of the most freeing things that I have gotten since getting into like, well, I started OnlyFans like during COVID. So like between that and porn, that has been a huge growth point for me too. Just letting go of those emotions that serve no purpose and like truly embracing humanity. You know, like one of my favorite companies, like I work with Perv City, you know, like DP Divas, and he tweets out a lot because he's married, you know, that like about marriage and like things like that and like promiscuity. And I'm like, things like this are like so dope to engage in, especially when you see people in relationships in the industry and how you separate it. Like when I grew up, like you said, I would get fucking pissed if my girlfriend was talking to another girl at the locker, or like, you know, if a boyfriend like was texting another girl, or like you go through their fucking Facebook when you're in high school, you know, and you're like, oh my God, you're liking another girl's picture, or like on Instagram. I'm just like so past that, you know, and it's amazing like what the industry will teach you, because there's so much separate from like the physical and emotional and like the spectrum in between, and boxing people in. You know, it's like if you treat people like that, like you're not treating them like a human. You're treating them like your property, like a commodity, if you're not letting them go. And most people can't even be honest with themselves and what they want. They feel like they're boxed in, like they were made to be monogamous, like to your point, that they do that to other people. And they don't even understand that they probably would love to fuck other people and have it be okay. But because they don't think that their partner would think it's okay, they box themselves in, and then they box their partner, and like no one's like being honest at that point.
Yeah, and the communication's broken down, and
then you have to lie.
Right, and then the minute you start lying, and the minute there's no trust, the relationship's over. The minute you cannot trust your partner, anything goes as long as you trust each other.
Yeah, like in the strip club, I've seen that shit, like where you could tell couples come in and they had no fucking idea like what was allowed, how far their fucking partner would go. You know, I've seen too many girls be left at the table while their man like goes and takes a stripper back like by himself. And it's like, you guys like did not talk about this. And I can tell that you are not going to last. Like they're walking out mad with each other. Crazy stuff. It's a shame.
It is. It absolutely is. Because all that could have been averted if like they had a conversation beforehand. And it was an honest conversation. Like, because even if he asked like, babe, is this okay? If she just goes, yeah, because she doesn't want to upset him. And then he went and does it, and she gets upset because she really wasn't okay with it.
Right.
That's a problem too.
Right.
I mean, I definitely run afoul of that shit, like in my own relationships over the years. Like, out with a girl, like, specifically asked, like, hey, I'm going to do this. Is that cool? And she went, yeah. And then when I went and did, she was upset about it. Like, then you shouldn't have said, yeah, I'm not trying to read between the lines here. I'm asking you a direct question.
Yeah.
You need to give me a direct fucking answer.
Like, I'll abide by whatever you say, but don't fucking trap me, bitch. So I do something wrong and then you get fucking mad. Like, don't test me, okay? Like, don't be like, oh, yeah, do whatever you want. Then I do whatever I want. And my shit's on the front lawn.
Exactly. That's a fucking problem.
Right.
But that also was never going to work in the long term anyways, because if you play that kind of game, it's never going to fucking work.
Right.
You just need to be upfront with fucking people.
So you have had like a lot of sexual experiences, like threesomes, like orgies, like being in the industry and stuff like that?
Actually, not that many.
Okay. Have you dated porn stars?
Oh, yeah.
Like, right?
Primarily people I date are performers. Because even as a dude who has never fucked on film, never wanted to fuck on film, it's wild that I get discriminated against by civilian chicks.
For your relationship to the industry?
100%.
Like, what do they think? Like you're a perv or something?
I literally had a chick, matched with her on some dating site, like talking, made plans to get coffee.
You swipe right?
Yeah, I swiped right. She's a cute hairdresser. Swiped right.
Dude, don't you know the rule? You stay away from hairdressers, nurses. There's like a list of like 3 different types of chicks. Probably strippers also are on that list. Like, you stay away from nurses, hairdressers, and strippers.
Oh, I definitely had some fun with a nurse I was dating for a minute at one point, but I told that story. I'm pretty sure I've told that story. Yeah, no, I definitely have. But, you know, we made plans to get coffee, like go hang out for the first time. She's like, do you have an Instagram? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I get a text back like a day or so later. Like, do you work in porn? I'm like, yeah. I'm not male talent. Like, I have no desire to be male talent.
I'm rolling my eyes already. Keep going.
I was like, oh, I've dated guys like you. I'm cool.
I've dated guys like you.
Like, all right, cool. And that's why, like, these days, all that shit, like, I'm on the dating apps. Fucking they're garbage, but I'm on them. And that's why all that shit is very prevalent on. Like, I just The podcast is listed there. Clips from the podcast, pictures of me with girls are all on there.
Right, because don't even fucking talk to me if you got a problem with it.
Exactly. I'm not changing. I am not changing for you, stranger. I'm probably not changing if we fall madly in love. I'm definitely not changing because I don't even fucking know you.
Right.
So if this is a deal breaker for you, see yourself out.
Right. Like, I'm not even changing for my fucking parents or like nothing. Like, you don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. If we gave a fuck, I mean, okay, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but if I gave a fuck, I wouldn't have started sex work or porn. You know, we get the most fucking shit like from people who will never say it to your fucking face. Like, what makes you think that anyone gives a fuck?
That's why I don't hide it. Because I would rather just have it out of the way right away.
That's how I feel about most topics in life, to be honest. But
it's a good way to be.
You know, yeah,
absolutely.
I guess I need to have more seniority in the game before I can be by telling all my details. I have to wait until I'm fucking Lisa Ann and write a book for me to be upfront about my life as a woman, I guess. But
or just secure your own production and not need anyone else's money.
Yeah.
Do you think Angela White needs anyone else's fucking money? No. Angela White Productions fucking kills it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the goal, to be honest. Like, that is a fucking goal. I want to have, like, properties. You can rent the spaces for content, rent it to people, produce, like, just be in charge.
Hey, at least you have 2 houses in Jersey you can already use.
I have a huge house in Philly, you know. I'm actually trying to get my mom to I don't know if she wants to keep the house or I'll just keep it. I'll buy it and keep it. You know, you pay the fucking bills, so whatever. But I want to move her to Florida, you know, so I want to have like mad property and stuff like that. I want to retire my mom and move.
You want to move her to Florida?
Yeah, I want to move her into like Tampa, Clearwater, like St. Pete, you know.
Well, do you just want her dead? Like, why Florida?
No, okay, Miami is different. Miami's not Florida.
No, 100%. I worked in Miami at points, and I literally had a coworker in Miami like, yo, man, you got to go north to be in the South in Florida.
That's so true. That's so fucking true. But yeah, I would want to move her. I mean, she's Puerto Rican. She needs warm weather. I don't know why she's been in Jersey for so long. Every winter she gets like depressed as fuck, you know, because she just wants to step on grass in the backyard. So yeah, totally. Like, I want to buy like a nice little duplex, you know.
Why don't you buy fucking property on the island?
What island?
Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, my mom has never like mentioned wanting to like go back. My grandma like lived there up until we tried to move her. I'm not going to get into the sad story. My grandma got sick. We tried to move her into the house in Jersey, and she had a property in Puerto Rico. My mom has never really mentioned wanting to go back. It is beautiful, but
I've never been.
I don't know. I would totally have a house in Puerto Rico.
What's
like, I heard the real estate money. I'll get there someday. Trust me. It's going to happen. But like, she's never mentioned it. She kind of I think she just wants to be somewhere where the weed is legal. She can just sit and chill, you know, and yeah.
Then why not move her to California and then you have crash space when you come shoot scenes?
I'm so sorry, but I would never move my family or myself into California.
What's wrong with California?
This is going to be one of the only points. This is like 70% more expensive than the East Coast, number one. It is so expensive. It's not.
No, I live here.
It's not a tax haven. Like, there's so many fucking issues with California, and definitely like not safe. Like, she wants to be able to like walk, you know, like you can't fucking walk anywhere around Cali, and like as an old woman, and like
depends on where you are. Depends on where you are.
I don't know. It's just too much out here. Holy shit. Like, maybe if I was like a billionaire, I'd put her in Malibu, but what the fuck? It's fucking like LA, like downtown or like anything.
Well, yeah, downtown's its own beast.
If I had a house in the hills, I'd fucking ask her if she wanted to, you know. But no.
Like, I'm never doing that. Fuck that.
I wouldn't even move here. I'm probably going to move to Vegas, though, like in the next year. You know, it's just my scene. But Cali?
See, I lived in Vegas for a couple of years. I much prefer it here.
Everyone's moving out of Cali.
I know. Hopefully it'll bring my rent down.
Is that why you're staying?
Hopefully it'll bring my fucking rent down. Okay. At the end of the day, there are a lot of fucking opportunities here. And as a consumer of entertainment, LA is second to none.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Every musical act you ever want to see is going to play here.
It's true.
We have art house cinemas. We have fucking releases that happen just to put it on screens so it gets award consideration happening around here.
Yeah.
The comedy scene's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not hating. Like I want.
You were hating a little. You were hating a little.
I feel like Callie's hating on me. Okay, but
sorry. Am I not treating you well? I'm sorry.
I'm not hating. I do give Callie credit. Okay, I'm moving to Vegas because it is very close. Like I flew here in an hour.
Yep.
So like that's sick as fuck. Like if it's local, that's why I live in Philly like mainly, and that's why I wanted to get an agent in Florida because it's a 2-hour flight. So I would totally move to Vegas because it is within distance of Cali, of course. But like to live, I don't know. See, but like Cali hires me the most, and then Vegas. So like I got love. Like people out here love me. I love y'all.
I think you're all right. I don't know if I love you yet, but
okay,
we'll get there.
It's okay. It's
a gradual thing. My beef with Vegas.
I don't have daddy issues. So I don't really need your love.
I will replay. I will rewind the tape where you said to the contrary, where you were like, "Validate me." I believe the words "validate me"
that was sarcasm. That was the sarcasm.
Sure. I believe you. I believe you.
Okay.
Believe you. My beef with Vegas is
the strippers.
Actually, I actually despise Vegas strip clubs. I really do. But that's a whole nother thing.
No, I get that completely.
And I guess I'll dive into that real quick.
Yeah.
So my beef with Vegas strip clubs, when they're not booking me, like I do like being booked by them occasionally, is...
Wait, how do they book you?
Because I'll still roadie occasionally. And
okay.
My beef with Vegas strip clubs is because they're just there for the clubs. Most of the clubs are just there for the tourists. And they pack the clubs with so many fucking girls. Like, there's no romance to it. They're just like, yo, dance.
Dude.
And if you're like, no, I'm cool. They're like, fuck you then. And then it's like, I'm not even having fun with this. Like, when I enjoyed strip clubs, I don't even enjoy them anymore. But when I enjoyed them, I was there for the bullshit of you pretending that like you're into my bullshit. I do not like the transactional nature of just like, dance? No, fuck off.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Right.
And just the transactional nature of it is not where I'm at. Like, that's it. And I'm not faulting anyone for like making their fucking money. Like last time I was in a Vegas strip club, there was some fucking other people from the industry, and like I was friends with one of the GMs, so he like comped our table, comped some bottles.
Yeah. And
we're just there to, because we're there. We're being comped. That's why we're there.
Right.
And girls are going to the table like, I just be up front like, yo, we're just hanging the night. You're more than welcome to hang at the table, have some drinks, but no one's getting a dance on. Like 5-6 girls are like, fuck you then. They're like, all right, cool. And one girl's like, no, that's cool as long as you're okay with like me fucking kicking my feet off for a few minutes and like,
yeah,
feel free. Like,
stop by, have a drink, like whatever.
Yeah, like, but I'm not here to waste your time because I know your time is fucking money.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to bullshit with you. Like, hey, bullshit with me.
I love that upfront nature for sure. Like, I respect that because I can get these strippers. Like, it is really super annoying when guys come in and they use the strip club as the scene for their party when you're just taking up space, like making us think we're going to be able to make money because the number of heads in the club gives us an idea of how busy it is, which equates to maybe like the dollars that we're gonna earn.
Right, and
at least like throw ones, Like,
well, and that's the thing. I will still stage tip.
Yeah, I was gonna say the most annoying thing is the guy that's sitting there and is not giving dollars. At least, like, why are you fucking sitting here? But also, not everyone's gonna buy $1,000 rooms, So girls, like, you get entitled. It was different than when I started, and it was a minute ago, but like the culture was completely different. Like now it does feel like you have to walk up and not waste your time. Before we could sit, I would give someone 20 minutes, half an hour, then ask. Then if not, totally cool.
But that's why I'm just upfront about it. Be like, yo, we ain't buying tonight. Like,
right.
You're more than welcome to chill, but we ain't buying tonight.
Right.
And then some girls called me a fucking asshole over it. Like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would much rather you think I'm an asshole than you waste 30 minutes of your fucking unpaid time that you're paying stage fees on And then me be like, nah, I'm cool.
Absolutely. The good thing is that you know how the industry works, and a lot of guys don't even know to do that. So, yeah.
But I don't go to a strip club as a patron at all anymore.
Right. Just as a roadie. That's pretty fucking sick.
My favorite thing in the world is like being in the table, like in between the feature set, and like have a house girl come on to me like, hey, I'm like with the feature. And then just... I'm here with the feature. Like, oh, okay. And then just know it's like, okay, cool. Good game. Like, because then it's not I'm an asshole. They're like, oh, okay, you're working too. Got it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then they don't fucking expect shit. You're just like them.
Yeah,
like you're fucking waiting for your fucking tip or like, you know, whatever you got paid or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
I'm here with the feature. Like, okay, cool. Have a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so since you've probably been to like a lot more feature shows than me or strip clubs, what are your favorite clubs like that you've seen, you know, to go to, whether as a roadie or a customer? But like, what are some of your favorite places that you've gone?
Oh yeah, because you're going to be feature dancing soon, aren't you?
Yeah, because I did one.
Where'd you feature?
I featured at Sapphire 60.
Nice. I've been to Sapphire.
In New York. So there's like 3, I think, in New York, like a Times Square one.
There's 60, there's 39, and Times Square.
Right. So I was at 60, and it was fucking great for my first time, I must say. And I didn't fall. So that was...
Was it filled with Wall Street bros?
Okay, so I'm blind.
Were there a lot of suspenders in the crowd?
I don't think so.
Okay, last time I was there with the feature.
I think it was underwhelming in that sense because I was told that it was going to be like that, and it was a little bit more relaxed than that, you know, but like, yeah.
Last time I was at that club with a feature, it was like, it looked like a stock market floor because it was just suspenders and fucking Wall Street bros as far as I could fucking see. It was ridiculous.
I'm blind as fuck, so I don't know if I could see. I was just on stage, like, every time I'm on stage, to be honest. Like, I need LASIK so bad when I'm on stage. I cannot see faces.
I
assume everyone's looking at me, and I just smile, because if you're not, I don't even know it.
I'm not blonde, by the way. Like, just because, you know, in your eyesight, you haven't gotten too close. Just, I have brown hair.
Okay.
Just in case, like, you're like, what'd Slayer look like? Well,
he was skinny and the opposite of a bear and not hairy and blonde, no salt and pepper.
Right.
Sideburns or anything.
Sapphire was fun. Pink Pony in Atlanta was fun. I mean, that's a famous fucking club.
I've heard of that club.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've always had fun at cheerleaders in Philly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It is fun to go to. Like, I wouldn't work there, I don't think, but like, it's fun as fuck as a customer. I go there actually quite often.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun at that club, partially because just the client I was working for at the time was just kind of wild.
Yeah.
And
the girl.
The feature was a little wild. And I know one of the nights she just didn't feel like drinking, and I had to do all her shots for her. I drank some fucking patron under the fucking table. He had a bottle of, like, I don't even know if they still make it, but like they had this Patron coffee.
Oh yeah, Patron XO.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my fucking shit when I started stripping. Hell yeah.
So some dude had bottle service. He's like, oh yeah, I want to do shots, and like the manager's like, that's one of our fucking high rolling regulars, so you got to kind of appease him.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm not drinking tonight. Like, so I'm just like, clang.
She wasn't drinking that. That's like the easiest thing to drink.
She just wasn't drinking that night.
Okay.
So I was doing both our shots. Like, I was just like bullshit. Like, yeah, dude, what's going on? Like, I wrecked that dude.
Okay. So were you compensated extra for that?
No.
Or that was just like a favor because that's kind of your job as a roadie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably should, in hindsight, should have been like, yo, but I'm like, oh, it's free booze. Cool. Like,
right. Nah, Patron Cafe is that drink. Like, that's what I drank. Even when I was underage, like, I would like take shots of that. Oops. That's illegal. Not supposed to say that.
Statute of limitations, I'm pretty sure, is passed on that one.
Oh, yeah? Okay, cool. Just let me know if I say anything.
I'm also not a lawyer, so you should probably not take legal advice from me.
Great disclaimer. But like, I would chug that because it is the thing that makes you feel drunk, but you can totally portray yourself as sober, like, because it's kind of caffeinated, but also it's not.
Yeah, that's probably why I wrecked that dude. Like,
Yeah. Like, and I would never be hungover from it. Like, I'd go to class the next morning. Like, okay, sick. Fucking 9 a.m. stat. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I have a very vivid memory of that club because that was a gig where I was working. It was a 2-girl feature, and I was working for one of the features. I'd never met.
Same time? They do that?
Yep. At least they did at the time. This is 10 years ago.
Were they friends or?
Yeah, they were friends. They were on tour together.
Oh, okay.
But I'd never met like her co-feature before the gig.
Okay.
And like I walk in and like the co-feature's already on stage, and like my feature's like, "Oh, this is Matt," and she just pulls me face first into her asshole like on stage. I'm just like, "What are you doing?" Okay, hi, how are you doing?
Are you tested?
It's just my nose.
Would have been my first fucking thought.
I mean, she pulled me into her asshole, not the.
No, I feel you. She pulled the asshole into her asshole. I get it.
Oh, I'm an asshole.
I'm just kidding.
Ouch.
I'm just kidding. Ouch. I'm just kidding. You're amazing. I think you're great. Ouch. Dude, I'm an actual asshole.
I see that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh, hey. I ended up being friends with that feature like down the road. It was just like, It was a hilarious, like, first, like, first time meeting, you just get pulled face first into your ass.
Hello.
Like, I'm not a client. I'm here working. I appreciate your asshole and all.
Oh, she thought you were?
No, she's just like, I don't know what. She was a little fucked up on stage.
Okay, yeah, that's just.
This is 10 years ago.
That's just her love language. Okay.
Yeah. She was a little fucked up on stage. Like, she was definitely a performer who like got into featuring for the extra money, and like,
yeah,
it was one of her like first feature gigs, and like she definitely had to like get some liquid courage going.
Okay.
Like, you know, she didn't go from house girl to fucking porn to stripping to feature dancing. It was like went from porn, got booked as a feature because she was
no stripper experience. Yeah.
Yeah. My friend who I was roadieing for was like used to be a house girl. And she's like, she can't do that shit. She doesn't. Oh my God, fuck. I hope we don't get in trouble with the club. I'm like, yeah, I hope we don't get in trouble with the club too.
Yeah. Thank God I had I have stripper experience, because feature dancing is very nerve-wracking.
Oh, it definitely can be. And like there's a lot of unknowns that go with it.
It's just, honestly, it's like, okay, I'm for myself, since I was so new and I am so new, I was like, is anyone even going to know who I am here? You know, like, am I even like known enough to feature anywhere at all? Like, people in my city kind of know me, but you know, it's like off social media and stuff. But yeah, that shit's nerve-wracking. Like, especially if you're a porn star and you have no stripper experience, you're supposed to go on stage and think that you have to be a stripper. But people aren't going there to see you as a stripper. Like, people don't think of me as a stripper, even though I think of me as half a stripper still, because I still strip. You know, they just think of you as a porn star. But I don't think a lot of girls get it. Like, I didn't get it. I went on there and I was still doing tricks. Like, they think I'm some fucking circa dancer, you know?
Yeah. Instead, like, features, like,
you just gotta be there and like fucking be like hot as shit.
Or you gotta put on crazy fucking shows. Have you ever gone to EDI?
No.
Oh.
EDI? Mm-hmm. No.
The Exotic Dancer Invitational, I want to say?
No.
It's like, It is the big fucking feature / club owner fucking convention.
Okay.
And they...
Oh, wait, are they having it in LA right now? At Planet Hollywood? It's like a strip club convention. It's like people are literally like... it's like a trade show for strip clubs.
It's a trade show for strip clubs, but there's also awards that go with it for the feature dancers.
Okay.
And I've attended like the contest for the features, and some of people's performances are fucking insane.
Yeah. Like the fucking like, okay, so since I've worked at strip clubs like forever, I've seen dancers. Like the club that I just quit, they have one every single month. So I've seen a lot. And
has Angel Bow ever come through? Angel like does like a kind of a freak show thing. She'll hammer nails up her nose on stage.
No, I haven't seen that shit. I don't know who that is.
I
love the name though.
She's a touring feature. Like, and she's won at EDI. She's a friend of mine. She's been on the show, but like, fucking. Okay. Like she does like a whole freak, like hammering nails up her nose and shit, like on stage and shit. It's like
that's wild.
It's part of her like feature set.
So I forget who I've seen a few. I kind of like forget the names sometimes, but they're like all over the posters and stuff. But like girls, they come, they put like neon paint, they do the candle wax, the fucking hula hoop, fire shit. Dude, it gets insane. And that's what also like you're like, okay, if I can't do fucking pole tricks, then I gotta like mud wrestle on fucking stage or some shit, you know. But
you have to like, if you're being booked as a feature, especially if you're not like a super famous porn star, you got to build a fucking show.
Yeah, but I didn't. I can kind of strip though, so it was like a show. But you know, nah. I think mine was good, but the girl set a really high bar for that. My next one, I think I'll try to do maybe a little bit more, or maybe take a class and learn like some extra tricks and stuff. But I had this sick DJ. He's from Brooklyn. I went to high school with, like, I knew him in high school in Jersey, but he was from Brooklyn. He mixed a tape for me. That was as far as I went. I got like a custom like mix for my 10-minute set and stuff. And that was,
that's the way to go. That is definitely the way to go.
Because the music, you know, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to like pump up the crowd if anything, you know. And I had like one of my good friends that I met in the club. He got a limo to Sapphire 60 with all my friends, got him drunk, and then he got the side section. Since you've been in 60, you know, like the side section right there, and like just throwing money. And then apparently on the other side section, there was like some rich like business owner with like a bucket, like one of those beer buckets full of stacks. And then it was kind of like a contest, you know, like every time I looked over there, like he'd throw a stack.
That's sick.
It was great. Yeah. But the presence, you know, I can kind of sit there and look cute in a sense, you know. I just kind of like fluttered the eyes and did the whole like laughing and I'm on stage and I'm cute kind of vibe. And it was great.
Whatever gets you paid.
But I can't, yeah. And it was great too. It was good money. I made more than what I expected. Like besides the club fee, like I made more in pictures and lap dances and stuff than I really expected. It was like really, really cool. I can't wait to do more. I think that was in June, like kind of before my birthday. I think that shit was sickening. So if I wanted to do more, what clubs would you recommend? Like besides you said like Pink Pony, like what other clubs are like super good that you've been to as a road?
I know you've signed with Lead Network, so I'm trying to think of what, like, it's been a while since I've been on the road. I'm trying to, because so there are two competing, at least when I was roadieing very actively, there were two competing booking agencies. So some clubs fell under one network, one fell under Lee. I don't remember which clubs fell under which, because one of the girls I worked with was such a big name that she could actually book with both.
That would be the goal.
Yeah, she was AVN Hall of Famer, so.
Damn. I'm not so well right now, huh?
For the moment. I mean, Lee Network has a lot of clubs under their fucking name.
Yeah.
Like the Sapphire contract's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think who booked. We had a lot of fun in fucking Madison, and God, what was that club in fucking Madison? I was working. Yeah, this is like 2014.
Wait, where's that at?
Madison, Wisconsin.
Uh-oh.
Like the house mom was a dude, but he was the best. He was the fucking best.
Was he gay?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never met a male house mom.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, house mom is like the person in the dressing room that takes care of the strippers and stuff. Like you supply tampons and perfume and cut the strings and cut the tags and, you know, all that stuff. You're like
yeah,
the caretaker for the strippers on shift. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
People don't know that shit. When I like was young, I was like, damn, my dream career would be like to be a house mom. Like, what else would I do when I retire stripping? Be a house mom or be a madam or some fucking shit. Own a strip club, own own a fucking, yeah.
You can do it all. You can do it all if you want. You got time.
I've learned better now, like house mom, you know.
Fair.
But house moms are sickening.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so
I remember what club
in Madison.
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember what club. That was a lot of fun. That was a.
What is it, like a Hustlers? Like what?
No, it wasn't
out
like,
there.
Fuck, what was the name? Like it was Silk or some shit like that. Maybe
Silk City or
no, just I think Silk.
Okay.
I don't fucking remember off the top of my head, but it was a lot of fun. The only downside about that club, that one of the nights was they let a bunch of fucking 1%ers in with their cuts on.
With their what?
With their cuts, like what?
Some gang shit? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like so 1%er motorcycle clubs. Like, oh my God. Basically, a bunch of bikers wearing their gang colors.
Okay.
And it was just like, I turned to the beach. I'm like, yeah, we need to go soon. Like, because if security is just letting these dudes wear, like, there's a whole bunch of them.
A free for all.
Like, if they're just letting them work, because, they're bikers, the leather vest that identifies their club on it.
No, for sure. I've done private parties like that where I show up at a lodge and it's like a fucking biker party. And you see everyone with the same, symbol on their shit and, the same, bandana out their pocket, on their bikes and stuff. Yeah, sure.
That's their cut.
Yeah, okay. Didn't know that. Yeah. Wait, can we pause because I have to go to the bathroom?
We're actually about to wrap in a moment here. We're about at time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll hold it.
If you can hold it for just...
Wow, really? How long has it been?
A little over 2 hours.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could go forever with you.
Oh, my God. Anywho.
My Botox wore off, so I can,
Facial expressions again?
Yeah.
But yeah, I turned to the feature. I'm like, we may need to go soon. She's like, why? I'm like, that should not be allowed. Like, strip club fucking security should not be letting a bunch of bikers wearing their fucking cuts in the club. Like, it's one thing, you're not going to be able to stop a bunch of bikers who are like, hey, we're at your club. But it's another thing to be like, oh, they can openly wear their fucking cuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, that means they have some sway over this fucking club.
I mean, or freedom of speech and expression.
I don't know.
Would it have been discrimination otherwise? Like you said, not letting in women.
Being a gang member is not a protected class.
So what does that even mean, being a protected class?
Your sexual orientation, your gender, your age, those are protected classes.
Okay.
Yeah, these are things people can't legally discriminate against you for.
Okay. See, I've never had a real job, so I haven't had to think about these things on purpose. Purpose.
Any club you've ever worked, would management let gang members of any gang rolling their colors?
The one I just quit. Yeah.
But was that part of the reason you quit?
No, that's not the reason I quit. They would totally let people like that in, though. Yeah, for sure. They have. Yeah. The club's going downhill, though. So also.
I don't know. A lot of the clubs I frequent as a patron in Chicago, I feel like were mob owned and they weren't putting up with shit.
Oh, okay. Because they were biased. They only let their own colors in. So
mob guys generally aren't wearing.
No.
No, mob. I don't think you're from Philly. Mob.
I'm not Italian. I don't fucking know mob shit.
I'm not Italian either.
Well, I don't know.
Got to be around it.
No.
Wow.
Gang shit? No, not I.
I mean, you have to be aware of it. It has to be in your periphery a little bit, right?
In Philly, I'm not. I mean, people talk shit. Okay, you got rappers. I guess they're from Meek Mill or whatever. I guess whatever they talk about. But I don't even think I've heard anyone in Philly talk about colors like that. I'm not. I live in South Philly. It kind of is mob shit down there, but I'm not really familiar with that kind of stuff. I know that when I came out to LA, when I started pouring, I had an undercut, shaved. So I would wear a bandana a lot and I had bangs. So I would wear a bandana a lot. And when I started coming out here to film, one of my homeboys from Pasadena said not to wear any colors out here. But in Philly, I've never had that problem or had to worry about it at all. But I just know that there are biker gangs around there that would come in together. And so that has to be the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well,
if they have a cut, it's the same thing as a color.
Yeah. It's representation of hey, we're part of this motorcycle club.
So I'm aware of it, but I don't really know what colors are in Philly or what.
But I'm just saying old school Italian mobsters generally aren't wearing a uniform. Because that's essentially what you're called.
No, they wear the fucking gold chains and right. Kind of just have to subliminally no.
Exactly. But yeah, a cut, colors, whatever, that's a uniform.
Okay.
That's oh, yo, we're all part of the same army.
Okay. No. That private party, I fucking realized that. And that was the last time I went to one of those things. Because you do something wrong and you have a whole room against you.
It's true. And that's exactly what I was worried about with the features. It's
right.
If they're letting, I think there's 15 of them all in here wearing their cuts. If shit goes wrong, there ain't shit I'm doing about this.
Very smart of you. Very responsible.
We need to wrap this up and go for the night.
Yeah.
Because she had already done her actual show. She was just doing meet and greet and fucking signing. I'm yeah, we probably need to wrap this thing up and go.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's scary anyway, because when you have all that cash on you, and then you walk out the club almost immediately, you're worried about someone knowing that you're featuring there and robbing you or, following you or whatever.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, with the level of features I was with at the time, the club was providing car service for us and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's still at the end of the day, me and whoever's driving the car service aren't going to do shit about 15 bikers.
Yeah. You have no chance.
Right. Like,
whole squad deep.
I'm pretty sure I did have a gun with me, but still, like, it's not going to go well.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. I was like, oh, there's 15 of you. Cool.
Yeah.
Have the money.
Right.
Have the fucking money.
Yeah, isn't that fucking nuts? Like in Philly these days, like, I don't know, ever since COVID, it got like really, really wild. And now everywhere I walk, like I still walk because I don't have a car. So we walk to the city to get food or whatever. And everywhere I walk, it's a new busted window on a car. Like shit is getting crazy these days. So you can never be too safe.
People are getting fucking desperate.
Yeah.
They are. But as I said, we're going to wrap here.
Wow, that's so nuts. And we're ending on the note of
busting in cars in Philly. Yeah.
Gang violence and colors.
And desperate people. But yeah, we are going to call last call.
Last call for alcohol.
Yeah, last call for the show. And believe me, we'll have you on again.
Wow. That's insane.
It is.
Thanks for having me.
Where can they find you on the things?
On the things. Everything is the same username. BRENNVMCKENNV. My real name starts with a V, so I just put Brenda McKenna, but the A's are V's. Very easy. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and OnlyFans for now, but everything that I go on will have the same handle.
So you get banned from Instagram like 3 times, like everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that out into the world. Sorry.
I've been reported. I'm gonna give up. Like next time, I'm almost positive I'll just, it's gonna happen. But whatever. It's like the happier I get, the less I want to be on social media anyway, which is such a shame because you kind of need it to succeed. But
you do.
The happier I get, just living my life the way it's going, the less I even want to pay attention. But all in the business.
For sure.
Thank you so much for having me. And like just in a couple of days' notice, like this was awesome.
My absolute pleasure. And we will have you on again for sure. Be sure to check out Brenna when she comes to your city because she is going to be feature dancing with the Lee Network. Spend your money. Give her your whole paycheck. Your whole paycheck.
Yeah.
Like fuck your wife and children. Fuck their college plans. Give her your whole fucking paycheck. Just give her your pin. Just a card pin.
I'm very generous. I give in return. I'm a giver in return. Almost out of sympathy sometimes. I give a lot.
There it is. There it is. But as always, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. and Slayer on Facebook, twitch.tv/Matt F. and Slayer. You can go to the Patreon where the uncensored versions and the video versions a week early are available at patreon.com/Matt Slayer. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Ooh, sip, sip.